You. It's to the end and to the end, we gon' see it through. I can bleed for you, teach you how to lead your crew. You and Khalid come from leaders, so you leaders too. Daddy taught me, now daddy teaching you. Cause one thing is true, after me it's you. So it's me and you. You need it and I need it too. Son, the only one I could call my dog. Only thoughts on my mind, I'm a father hard. And I put it all on the line like a conference call. I gotta man up. Being a father's hard. It ain't easy to stand up and it ain't hard to fall. I already wanna teach you how to call your broads. And to be careful of the people that you call your squad. They say life's a gamble and often hard. Quick and easy, a man can go from boss to loss. It ain't about your hands, it's how you draw your cards. And if your heart is falls, you're not hard to cross. But those jewels is for later when you ballin' hard. I know sooner than later you go from small to tall. Right now your toy room is wall to wall. I do this one for my boy home, my dog, y'all. I see me and you, so it's me and you. It's to the end and to the end, we gon' see it through. I can bleed for you, teach you how to lead your crew. You and Khalid come from leaders, so you leaders too. Daddy taught me, now daddy teaching you. Cause one thing is true, after me it's you. So it's me and you. You need it and I need it too. That's why it's me and you. Yeah. I wanna see you in safety, you make me get out and grind. And if you ever in trouble, I'll help you get out of bind. And if your days is rainy, I'll help you get out your shine. But I won't put that behind if you get out of line. And you never have to fight if you get out your mind. But if you ever have to fight, I hope you get out your spine. Cause some dudes will get out the nine. But you a man, and a man deserves to live out his time. A man deserves to live out his life. And a man deserves to preserve something and live when his life ends. We different, we the vividest likings. We lit it in lightning so we can feel the temperature rising. Never live off of lies and never be scared. Forget all the criticizing and level your head. Don't quit till you better than fed. And remember, if you make a legacy, then you can never be dead. And you can never be led in the direction of fed. So make your only resolution resurrecting the dead. You are more special than Ed. Get the people to wake up. I swear they've been waiting in bed. Yeah. I see me and you, so it's me and you. It's to the end and to the end, we gon' see it through. I can bleed for you, teach you how to lead your crew. You and Khalid come from leaders, so you leaders too. Daddy taught me, now daddy teaching you. Cause one thing is true, after me it's you. So it's me and you, and I need it too. That's why it's me and you, yeah.
You my dad, that's why I'm glad you're here. You make me happy whenever I'm sad and feel. A lot of fellas ain't no one, that's why I'm glad you're here. That's why I love you. Atmosphere, now that's added space. My dad's a bass, so cool, can't nobody have his place. My dad is great, I have his face. I'm glad I'm safe, let's snatch the cake.
Ha, that's my boy, he the best. Cause of you, I put down the toys in the text. Settled on down and left my boys on the set. You make my heart sing, I feel a joy in my chest. My boy, he's so fresh, it's so in the chest. Daddy worked for himself, so he employed for the best. The boys is a mess, so avoid all the sets. I swear, you move right, and the boys getting left. But what's worse is avoiding the right. Think about it, when you get it, you the boy in the night. Never let them start exploiting your life. And my last point of advice is love and you'll enjoy your life. Yeah, I see me and you, so it's me and you. It's to the end and to the end, we gon' see it through. I can bleed for you, teach you how to lead your crew. You and Khalid come from leaders, so you leaders too. Daddy taught me, now daddy teaching you. Cause one thing is true, after me it's you. So it's me and you. You need it and I need it too. That's why it's me and you. Yeah.
This song is dedicated to all my black brothers out here. They say we don't take care of our kids. They say we don't love our kids. It's the worst stereotype. I hate it. All my boys, all my brothers, all my family, we all love ours. Peace. Chuck. Focus.
says live on YouTube, but I don't know. I don't hear it.
Yeah, so peace. I'm talking, I'm on mute. I'm mad. All that talking while on mute.
Peace to the Black God. I was wondering, I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Because I don't hear nothing, I don't see nothing. Say live on YouTube, bro. You say it again?
You heard nothing I said?
I didn't hear nothing you said, brother.
God damn.
I see the boxing glove.
All right. I said the chat was feeling the song. I said Nepal, Sister Nepal, she said very nice. My man Melvin, Team Osiris, he said was, dope. So a lot of people was feeling like the remix. I'm over here. I gave a whole damn diatribe.
Oh man.
Nobody heard one word.
I sincerely apologize, beloved brother.
Now that's me. Because sometimes when you go on mute, you can hear the music better.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate you, for playing my music. I appreciate you for the love, showing me love, putting me up on this platform, allowing me to, come on here and speak with you guys tonight. You know what I mean? It means a lot. I always relish the opportunity to, dialogue, speak with my people, regarding, the issues that we face today as a people. It means a lot to me. So, I definitely thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And thanks for coming on. We're going to send a link out after we get, into the subject. So nobody interrupt the guests, because that's a lot. But we got a guest on here and the guests get interrupted.
Right.
So we're going to respect the guests, and then we'll send a link out and the regular panelists can hop on. So I hope y'all ain't feeling all emotional and still trying to bounce. I can't get on right now. I'm out. You dig? You know how we are. But anyway, so this is the elephant in the room. You dig? Like it's easy to talk about other things going on in this world. The hard part is looking in the mirror. You dig? And looking at yourself and evaluating and trying to figure out what is the actual problem that we can control.
Right.
We can't control. You dig? We just gotta play defense. And
right.
Just guard up on. But the hard part is dealing with what we can control and what are some of the issues. So today's topic is rap influence on the community. Now notice I didn't choose a side. I didn't say yay or nay. I left it just like that. Rap influence on the community. So that means I want everybody sincere, opinion. But of course, starting with the guest, I want him to go in on the subject at hand, which is, his name is Brother Focus, by the way.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to my Black family. So, as he said, the elephant in the room is, what is it that we can do ourselves to change the narrative, to reform, our people, to reform the condition that we are in? That we can always talk about, the government and, his plot and his plans, which we're going to get into as well tonight. But as a people, there's certain things that we can do. We can, unite. And I feel as though one of the main things that we can do is take a stand or unite against this form of music that we have going on, as opposed to turning a blind eye to the influence that it has on our youth. We talk about Trump and everybody ready to hop on the Trump bandwagon, or we talk about education and educational reform, and everybody ready to hop on that bandwagon. But the rappers out here, they got the ear of the community. These young kids and even, you know, older Black individuals are being guided by the music and by the artists. You know, we dress like the artists, we act like the artists. You know, we emulate them in every single way, you know, that we can. Our slang, you know, our new fashion, whatever you can, you know, think of. So it's clear that the music, or that the, you know, current rap artists, you know, have a big influence on the behavior of us, you know, as a people. But yet we turn the blind eye to this thing. You know, in the early 1990s, a whistleblower recently came out, and I sent you this link, Rondell. I don't know if you can put it up on the screen, but you know, it's basically say it again. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I said I can, you know, access to the link.
Yeah. Put it on the screen. So basically, you know,
excuse me, but everybody know me as unbiased. Thank you.
oh, my fault, unbiased. You know, we go way back. We go way back.
Look. Yeah, they're Facebook friends with me too, so they know my name. But you're gonna lose them if you say Rondell too much.
I'm sorry. You know, this is my first time. You know, we have conversations, me and you, you know, personally. You know, we call each other, we talk to each other. So I'm so used to calling you that, you know, but I do apologize, Mr. Unbiased. Let me get it right. You understand what I'm saying? Mr. Unbiased. So yeah, if you can provide them with that link, you know, it's very, you know, telling, because you can look at, you know, what the whistleblower says the new direction for rap music is going to be, and then you can look at what the whistleblower says that the new direction for rap music is going to be, and then you can see rap music going in that exact direction over the last 20 or 30 years. You can actually see it play out exactly as he, you know, said that it would, or that, you know, the quote unquote forces that were at this particular meeting, which you'll be able to read, said that they wanted it to play out. And that was basically a deterioration of, you know, the Black young male into some, you know, from someone who is, you know, an intelligent, scientific, you know, you know, an individual who was on a quest for knowledge, who had a thirst for knowledge, who, you know, that was the type of prevalent mindset that existed. I can't hear you.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that was the type of prevalent mindset that existed in the 80s, because the music was geared and catered towards a more positive, you know, approach to things. You know, you had the Brand Nubians, the KRS-Ones, the Positive Ks, you know, the you know, Public Enemies, the you know, the staple of rap musics, you know, and the goal in the design was to guide people into you know, a positive way of thinking, guide people into you know, learning, into, you know, understanding who they were, understanding, you know, Black and social issues. So this meeting that took place in the early 1990s, in which they discussed, which you'll see in this article, the new direction of rap music, it was basically so that they could take the music and use it as a tool against the people, and use it as a conditioning tool to not only get us to become, you know, criminals at a higher rate, but also to get us to, you know, spend exorbitant amounts of money on things that we can't afford, or, you know, just delve into all type of criminal activities, criminal behaviors, you know, do drugs, sell drugs, you know, destabilize the Black family, destabilize the Black man, destabilize the youth of America, you know, the Black and urban youth of America, and basically condition us and guide us into behaving in a manner that they were comfortable with, or that would, you know, yield them a particular profit, because Black people are always what they have always been in this country, and that's a commodity. It's a source of revenue. People, you know, have always used us to make money since we came here, you know, to the shores of North America. So, you know, they just found a more clever way to make more money off of us. And if you actually pay attention to the music and the behavior that it inspires, there's no benefit for Black people at all in it. You know, the behavior that is inspired, there's no benefit. Not only is we killing each other and running from the police, we spending a whole bunch of money, we selling drugs, we doing drugs, we acting a fool, we're inspiring our women to, you know, act in a manner that is, you know, unbecoming of themselves, unbecoming of, you know, a Black woman. It's destabilizing us. It's destabilizing our quest and thirst for knowledge. It's churning out criminals wholesale as opposed to thinkers and intellects wholesale. And this is by design. This is exactly what they wanted it to do. So if you read this article, you scroll down, this whistleblower who, like I said, wanted to remain anonymous, because, you know, of course, he was in fear for his life. He detailed and outlined this plan that all of the quote unquote decision makers, he calls them, in the music industry came together, and they pretty much decided that they would only you know, put out artists that guided or goaded us into making the decisions that they wanted us to make. So, you know, and everybody gets down with this now, you know, because, you know, as you read the article, it's limited to the prison industrial complex and those who own privatized prisons and their agenda or the incentive they had in criminalizing young Black people. But also beyond that, you know, there was, you know, the clothing designer companies, and, you know, the shoe designer companies, and the gun companies, and, you know, the drug manufacturers, and all of these entities were all conspiring to make sure that the music, okay, became a detriment to us and became a conditioning program that would, you know, basically, you know, guide us into prison, guide us into spending, and guide us into, you know, making bad decisions, and keep us away from trying to grow as a people, unite as a people. That's their number one fear, you know? So we're going to get into, you know, all of these particular things and why, you know, they use the music, how they use the music, what's their number one agenda, you know, is it limited to just profiting, or do they understand who we are as a people? Do they understand our true, you know, destiny? And are they trying to keep it from us, you know? The music is one leg, one aspect of it. Of course, you know, they have used the media and the church and the educational system and all of these different things, and they're hitting us, you know, in every angle. But one thing that we really turned a blind eye to, and I shouldn't just say the church religion period, but, you know, one thing that we do turn a blind eye to is the music. You know, we glorify these rappers, we place them on a pedestal, you know, we look up to them, and we never really, you know, identify the role that they have in, you know, conditioning these young people into making decisions that are totally, you know, unbecoming of a righteous person, of, you know, somebody who is trying to be better, do better, you know, or just stay out of the system in that way. They want to, you know, guide us into the system as opposed to into greatness. So, you know, I'm not sure if I can click off this screen. By
I can do it.
Say it again.
I did it.
No. I'm saying I don't know if I could unclick off this screen so that I could, because it was a certain part of the letter that I wanted to read. Maybe if you could scroll down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can scroll down. So I mean, let's just read the letter for those who may have not ever seen this letter before.
Hold on, I'll make it larger first.
Yeah, let's enlarge it.
Is that too large?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've seen this letter on various different websites. Pete Rock, he did a little expose on it. A lot of the older rappers and the pioneers of rap music, they really, really understand this in a different way because they were the people who were squeezed out of the game. Let's just say, the pioneers of the rap industry, those people who brought rap to us in such a way that it cleaned us and conditioned us and made us better. Those people were removed and silenced, and all by design. But a lot of those older individuals, the Pete Rocks, the Eric Sermons, the Rakims, they know this and they understand this. And that's another thing, that always gets to me. If you actually look at, any other genre, any other race of people, any other genre of music, their legends are revered. The legends that they produce, pop music and rock and roll, they're revered, but our legends are they're made into these, ancient artifacts that, people want to disconnect themselves from as opposed to pay homage to. And there's a reason for that. People don't feel as though that, they are operating within the paradigm by, paying homage or putting those older, more positive, and rap artists on their music, on their songs, or supporting those older rap artists, paying homage to them, really putting them out. They don't. We disconnected ourselves from those people, and it's really a shame because they did so much for not only the community but for the music. They pioneered the music, and they really did save lives. And it's really a shame that we, don't give them the honor and the respect that they deserve. We clown them. We don't really, we don't really pay the homage that we're supposed to pay. But that's by design, and that's because of the influences, that basically chose to push rap in this direction. And those influences are these influences that are prevalent or that we see on this particular letter that I'm about to read. But and I'm an artist myself. I love music. I love making music. I don't curse in my raps. I like making positive music. I'm a lyricist myself. And because I'm an artist is why I really, really, this particular this particular subject is really important to me. It's really important to me because I'm an artist, and I've seen that my passion, that I can't even really use it to my full, to the full extent that I should, because they won't sign artists like me. They won't push artists like me. So I'm fighting an uphill battle because, I want to put out more positive music. And it's a shame because everybody is able to put out positive music. Every genre of people of music is able to put out positive messagings in their music. I listen to white music. I listen to the Z100s and the B104s and the pops of today because it's the only place that you can get positive messaging. It's hard pressed to find positive messaging in music, and music touches the soul. It creates an atmosphere within you that it creates a feeling within you. So we don't always want that negativity. Sometimes we want positivity. And the only place I can find it is listening to white music, but that's by design too. If you listen to the music in the 90s, you see a staunch difference. I often say, people say segregation, it isn't alive anymore, or segregation, is dead. But segregation is alive and well, and you can tell that by listening to the music stations. If you turn to a white music station, you listening to, different sounds, different melodies, different messaging. If you listen to a black music station, you listening to another, a different type of sound, music, and messaging and melodies. And that's by design. They want you to feel as though, this is for you and this is for them. The positivity that exists within the white music or the white genres of music, they want you to feel disconnected from. They don't want you to feel connected to those white genres of music. They want you to look at that from afar and not feel as though you can attain those same levels of positivity or messaging in your own music as well. That's taboo for you, as a young, upcoming artist to put out positive, music and messaging. Let me drink this. So let's read this real quick. So it says, after more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time, weighing the pros and cons of making this story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for. Between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the most established companies in the music industry. I came from Europe, and in the early 1980s, I quickly established myself in the business. Now remember, in the 80s, between the 80s and 90s, you had a lot of positive Black music, you had a lot of positive Black artists, but in opposition to that, or in contrast to that, a lot of the white music was really, really negative. You had a lot of this punk rock phase going on, and it influencing young white kids to make bad decisions. So they understood that the music, was a quintessential factor in the decision making of young kids. And Tipper Gore, Al Gore's daughter, went on a campaign to take punk rock music out of the mainstream. She fought hard because she understood the detrimental effects that it was having on the youth that listened to it. This is between the 80s and the 90s. So they understand the power of the music, with regards to the conditioning, the behavior of their youth with punk rock. And then in the early 1990s, they turn it around and take your music and turn it from pure positivity to pure negativity. Well, if you knew that punk rock was conditioning or guiding the behavior of your children, then you knew that the gangster rap would guide and condition the children, the behavior of our children. So he says let's see. He says, the industry was different back then. Since technology and media weren't accessible to people like they are today, the industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted. This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of music business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices I've ever seen. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people being there, most of them familiar faces. Speaking to those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap music and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private gathering to discuss its future. Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be in our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement. Could you scroll up?
Yeah.
Where we at? About 25. Agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued and in some cases disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on the matter and consequences, which stated that violating the terms of the agreement will result in job termination. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but couldn't find anyone who had answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. No one stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me. A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected the agreements from us. Now, I was talking to my wife the other day, and we were discussing the policies and programs that they, have with regards to Black people, or that they create or implement with regards to Black people. And I told her the true meetings with regards to the policies and programs that will be implemented among our people are held in private backdoor sessions. This ain't held in Congress. When they discuss the direction of Black people and which way we're going to go and what they're going to have us do and, how they're going to wipe us out, these things are done in private backdoor sessions, because the very real fact of the matter is Black people are such a intricate part of the plan. We are such a integral part of American society, but the part we play is so sinister in nature. The part we play, is so, it's so brutal the way that they, make us play our part. Black suffering has always been the order of the day when it comes to, America. Black suffering. So could you tell him to hush up, babe? Because he's being too loud. So understanding that, you have to understand that the meetings that they have with us, or, with regards to us and the path that they want for us, these meetings have to be done in backdoor, because America wants to put on this, pristine image and pristine face that they're the, the face of justice in the world and freedom in the world and, positivity in the world, that the stain of America, which is us, is such a prevalent stain that the only thing that they can do is try to keep masking it over, hiding it and covering it and presenting themselves to the world as this great nation, when in fact of the matter is, they're one of the most brutal nations on the history of the earth. And as a result of not only what they did to us, but of course what they did to the native people and all people around the world that they're wreaking havoc on. But with Black people, they have gotten us to believe that we have overcome. They've gotten us to believe that we have succeeded in, gaining freedom and independence and social equality. They make us believe that the fight has been won, that the fight is over, when in all actuality, we're still in the thick of the fight. They're killing us in every aspect of society. And, the new and inventive ways that they decide to take us out and destroy us and wipe us out, they, plan these things in these backdoor meetings that we're talking about. And this is one of them. So it says, quickly after the meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everyone else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no further details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but it was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industry and congratulated us for being selected as part of a small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable at the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement. Could you scroll down some more? Right. He then gave the floor to a man who introduced himself by the first name. Oh, no, where we at? Oh, a little bit. Okay. Sorry, this is so small on my phone screen. Okay. He explained that the companies he had worked for invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of those investments. I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in confusion. At the time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with us. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates. The more inmates, the more money the government would pay these prisons. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons were privately owned as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken aback by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague, who had first opened the meeting, took the floor again and answered our question. He told us that since our employers had become silent investors, okay, in the prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure these prisons remained filled. Now, if you privatize a prison, if you privatize or incentivize or make it, a money-making tool, right? You make it a source of revenue. You make it a commodity. You turn it into a business. Then, like with any other business, right? You need to drive customers into that business. Now, the customers for the private prisons just happen to be inmates. So if you want to drive customers into McDonald's, you're going to come out with a commercial. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun. You want to make it look real golden, them fries. Okay, you want to make that Coke. You want to have that condensation and that water dripping off the outside of the Coke. It's just going to look so refreshing. Then you're going to push this commercial. You want to spend millions of dollars pushing this commercial so that you can drive consumers and customers into your business. It's marketing 101. So if we have private prisons, if we have people making money off of prisons, if we have prisons becoming a business, then marketing 101 states we need commercials. We need a way to produce the need or the hysteria or the, as opposed to for a Big Mac, we need to find a way to produce, criminals at an all-time high, as opposed to, give you the craving for our golden fries. We need to find a way to, incentivize or, guide you into our business, right? So commercials for restaurants. Well, what is the commercial for rap music? I mean, for the prisons, it's rap music. That's the biggest commercial for getting young Black kids to go to jail, young poor kids to go to jail. It's rap music. That's the biggest #1 commercial. So all of these silent investors or decision makers who placed all of this considerable amount of funding or money in investing into private prisons, well, they need to make sure they get a return on their investment. They need to have commercials. So naturally, they're going to all begin to put out their own form of gangster rapper so that they can ensure that these particular individuals influence these young kids into making these decisions that turn them into criminals. This is my problem with the gangster rapper. You know what you're doing. You want to wipe it under the rug as, yo, I'm just getting my money. But bottom line is, you know you're selling your soul. You get it. You understand it. You can't not, as an artist, understand the influence that you're having on these particular young kids. But yet we turn a blind eye to them. We never, I mean, these artists come out with mixtape after mixtape, song after song. Young nigga move that dope, young nigga move that dope, young nigga move that dope. Y'all talking about Trump. I ain't never seen nobody talk about Future yet. I ain't never seen nobody put, you know, T.I. or Lil Uzi or Lil Yachty or Jadakiss or any one of these niggas who's getting us to make these bad decisions, who is getting us to be criminals. I've never seen anybody protest them yet. Where's all of the conscious groups? Where's all of the, you know, progressive thinking black folks, individuals? Like, these people are serving us up. I just put out a post the other day because everybody mad at 6ix9ine. They said, you know, 6ix9ine is a snitch. He home. He getting 7-8 million viewers on his live. Everybody mad at 6ix9ine. I say, y'all mad at 6ix9ine because he sold his peoples out. But y'all not mad at all the rest of these rappers, and they sold they whole people out. They sold they whole people out. Like how is 6ix9ine, you feel what I'm saying, the villain of the day, but not all the rest of these niggas, all the rest of these coons that's up here selling their soul and selling their people out. Like, bruh, this shit is it's mind-blowing to me. Like we so conscious, but we don't understand that a lot of our consciousness even come from the enemy. They give us our consciousness. They tell us what is okay for us to believe in and not believe in. We all got a problem with Trump. We all talking about Trump. But Trump is just the order of the day. Trump is, you know, the new thing on social media for us to talk about. You know, but Trump ain't no different from Obama. Obama ain't no different from Clinton, from Bush. Bush ain't no different from Reagan. Reagan ain't no different from, ain't nothing changed since lunchtime. Ain't nothing changed since lunchtime. They all have the same exact agenda. Their foreign policy is all exactly the same. Nothing has changed. So stop, you know, we need to stop getting caught up in the meal of the day. Stop getting caught up in you know, the whatever's hot at the time. And we need to really, really delve into what's going on and what is the true detriments to our people. I often have these conversations in the barbershop, and kids always talk. They say the same thing. They say, oh, nah, but you got to be a strong-minded individual. You won't get influenced. That shit ain't influenced me. I said, bro, look at the way you talking. Look at the slang. No cap, son. Where you think you get this from? Look at your slang. I said, look what you got on. Look at your clothes, your Gucci belt. Look at your new Jordans. Look at your Balmain jeans. Look at your style. Look at your slang. Look at how you act. You think you gonna act, dress, talk like a rapper, but then when you come to a position to where you're gonna have to make a decision to shoot or not shoot, to fight or flight, to stand your ground, or to, you know, try to find peace out of a situation, you gonna solve your problems like the rapper. You dress, you act, you think, you talk like a rapper. What makes you think when those aggressive situations come up and you in the position because you got that gun or you in a position because you got that knife, or you in a position, okay, because you physically stronger, you know, to impose your will, your physical will on somebody. What makes you think you're not going to use the tactics of a rapper or to solve your problem in a way that is, you know, conducive to how rappers act and how they behave? You are every single time. So it only takes one time to make a bad decision. That's what they do. They want to sell you on kill, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. And then the one time you do it, they lock you up for life. They take your rights away. You gone. It's over for you. After they have guided you and conditioned you into making these decisions. Now, unity is the key, right? We all got to come together. Now, either the rappers is going to come together against the machine, and they all going to come together and say, we're not going to rap about anything that glorify killing, selling drugs, death, anyway. Juicy J just put out a post the other day talking about something. I'm sorry if I influence anybody to do drugs. Bro, the sorries don't count after all the ODs, after the opioid addiction. Y'all, the opioid addiction is a direct result of y'all running around telling everybody Molly Percocet. Percocet is an opioid. Y'all running around telling people every other rap song, niggas is talking about perks. They got the 30s dropping. They got fake perks, and every other person I know that died from drugs died off of fake perk, died off of opioids. Pop the pill, 2 hours later, they gone, dead. Now, if we're dealing with population control, and we know they're killing us in abortion clinics, and they're killing us in the food, and they're killing us with the music, what makes you think that they won't put out death pills too? All of a sudden, we getting all these pills that you just pop one, you dead. You think they won't put little pills out in the batch that make sure that the population control agenda is still furthered? So that means when these rappers is out here telling people Molly Percocet and young nigga move that dope, this is further in the agenda of the enemy. The same enemy who wants to quell the population of the people. What did the Bible say? What did the scripture say? That Pharaoh was afraid. He wanted to kill all of the male children because he was afraid that they would multiply in numbers and then join on to a force against them. Well, that fear still persists to today. They killing all of us, and they particularly starting with the males. So you got black women who are, number one, college, the highest numbers in college, and men are the highest numbers in prison. This is by design. They constantly doing the same thing. Kill the boys, spare the females. So nothing has changed. We have to start identifying these people for what they is. I mean, we should have whole movements. We want to march over police brutality. Oh, they just killed that young brother. But we not marching over Future last album. We not marching over the Baby new mixtape. You telling me that that's not a detriment to our people? That all these young kids is listening to that music, emulating that music, acting like these people, dying, fighting, really paying the price. While these niggas is getting paid, we paying the price. We out here dying wholesale. And you telling me that we don't need to be marching against them? You telling me we don't need to have movements against these particular individuals and these particular peoples? I mean, I'm sorry. I was a gangster rapper. I used to have I come from that. I'm from the streets. So I come from gangster rap. And quite frankly, all my shit was guns and drugs. Born in the slums, living for the raw and the guns. Fuck with the ab, I have a million niggas swarming your sons. Swinging the 4-4, extorting your funds. It's important we keep importing the shit fiends snorting their lungs. This is how I rapped. This is how I rapped back in the day. Because I felt like I had to fit within the paradigm. I felt as though I had to fit within the model of rap music. And I had to put out what people wanted to hear. So I had tons of it. And then I quit rapping for years because I had an epiphany. I realized, I said, damn, this shit is genocide, bro. I can't put that music out there and be responsible for the death of millions to line my pockets. I can't do it. So I quit for years. I couldn't reconcile the two words. You feel me? And then I came to a point where I said, you know what? I'm kind of talented. you know, different artists like Drake and J. Cole came out, you know, who are two of my favorites, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar, different ones. I said, you know what? There is a lane. You know what? I'm gonna take it to the next level. I ain't gonna curse in my music. I'm going, you know what I'm saying? You know, do what I need to do. When I first started, when I first came back in the game, I was a little more raw. I cursed in my music. You know, I talked about getting high. I ain't talking about selling drugs and killing nobody, but I was smoking weed at the time. I was drinking. So I rap. If you go about to my old YouTube videos years and years ago, you may see some of that. But you also see a progression. You also see an elevation. You see me growing in my craft to a point where I don't no longer rap about, of course, killing niggas selling drugs, but I don't even curse in my music anymore. And I don't even promote myself that I don't curse. I just don't curse. I don't promote myself as a rapper who don't curse. I just don't curse because there's only 6 curse words in the whole English language. And you can't come out with 10 albums and have to use those 6 words. If you can't come out with albums without using those 6 words, you're not an artist. You're not a poet. This ain't really not your craft. You telling me you have to use those 6 words? There's only 6 curses in the whole damn English language. And you got to use that every other word, every other sentence. You have to. You don't. This is the design of the enemy for the music. You look around and not only did all of the positive rappers leave back in the 90s, early 90s when all of this stuff was going on, but what happened to the Kid and Plays? What happened to the candy rappers, as my father used to call them, the Will Smiths and different ones? Will had a career because he went into acting. But what happened to the Kid and Plays and all of those who didn't take a political stand one way or another, who wasn't Positive K or KRS-One or Brand Nubian or Public Enemy, but, you know, they wasn't gangster rappers. They was dancing in their music and they did good. House Party was one of the best movies of all time. It was funny. They was dancing, positive music. It was good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Young kids, they did their partying, whatever the case may be. Wasn't a bunch of drugs. Wasn't a bunch of, you know, alcohol. I mean, when the one kid had the bottle of alcohol, kid told him, man, you need to put that monkey oil down. Then they show him falling over, throwing up. They made it, you know, the alcohol, they showed it for what it was, a detriment to your well-being, to your social, you know, connectivity that you have with the people around you. They showed it for what it was. You know, kid got his behind whooped at the end, showing that there was consequences, showing that there was come get her, baby, showing that there was consequences for your negative actions. You understand what I'm saying? He got arrested, had a little rap in the song about how he don't want to spend his life in prison. His friends band together. Oh yeah, we all gonna go to Burger King. It was positive. It was good. What happened to movies like that? What happened to artists like that? Oh, it's no place for that in the new rap era, in the new direction of rap music. You can look at this article and you can see that it's facts. There's no place for that. The dancing left. No more dancing. Bro, we was break dancing, pop locking, Kid and Playing, doing all of the moves. The dancing gone. You can't dance in music no more. All the positive vibes, the positive messaging, gone. You can't be positive in music no more. All the political stances, gone. You can't be political in music no more. The only thing you can do is rap about spending, selling drugs, killing people, anything that's going to get you in jail or make us money off of. And then this is the caveat. Look, this is how you know that the messaging is coming from them. They tell you to kill your own, but then run from the cops. What? Hold up. Wait a minute. It was kill the police back in the 80s. It was after the police back in the 80s. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, they the scariest thing now. Woo! Right. One cop, the whole block run. Everybody, Mr. Master coming. You know that it's coming from them. Oh yeah, and while you at it, buy some Gucci, some Louis Vuitton, buy some Fendi. While you at it, make sure you keep either doing drugs or selling drugs. While you at it, bruh, this is a coordinated, mechanized plan by the enemy. They removed everything, all positivity. It's gone now. And then for 30 years, it's been the same way. See, they wanted to act like rap had an evolution. Like, oh nah, man, we grew out of that positive crap. All right, this is rap now. You gotta tell your pain, bro. You gotta tell You thug, you a thug. So yeah, we done grew out of all of the positive rap music. All right, they wanted to act like the evolution of rap was that, but really the evolution of rap was lyricism. We got better in our lyrics. You know, we went from 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, staying alive, because I'm staying alive, to I'm African intellectual on an active mission to keep the rest of you from making bad decisions. This acumen is the best for you. Massive children with bad intentions. We neglected to have them listen. Now they packing prisons in the correctional. That's the elevation of rap music, the lyricism. It's not a deterioration into rapping about all things negative. Look at the females. We went from UNITY, who you calling a bitch, to I used to throw lips at the bitch. Now I throw lips at the bitch. Handle it like a real bitch. Who decisions was that? Who guided the path of young Black sisters into that? Now for 30 years, we still got Megan Thee Stallion, City Girls. 30 years later, we still got the same exact messaging. You telling me there's no evolution? Look how they do us. They came in the early 90s, 91, right? With all of the negative music, right? By 99, 2000, we was coming out of that shit. Yeah, you still had your Dipsets, you still had your Jada Kisses, and they really had a stable in New York and around New York. But the rest of the world really wasn't messing with them like that. You know, you had, you know, the Outcasts on the come up. Yeah. You know, you had your lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. You know, you go to a party, you know, you Drink That Soldier Boy. You know, we had got tired of all of that kill a nigga, shoot a nigga shit. So eventually, the South blew up a lot, mainly in part because they was wacky and fun, and we didn't want all of this negativity anymore. So we just wanted in my white tee, and you know, brush your shoulders off. That's what we wanted. That's how they blew up. That's how ATL took the game. They took the game because we didn't want to kill nobody no more. We don't want to do this shit forever. So as soon as ATL got control of the game, you look around and it goes immediately 4 or 5 years later from Lean With It, Rock With It to Young Jeezy. From immediately goes from, you know, Lil Wayne the goofball to Lil Wayne the super thug blood who want to kill everybody, and G's like lasagna and G's moving silent. Like it literally went from, you know, woo, Crank That Soldier Boy and white tee and walk it out to T.I. and Ace Hood, and now 15 years later, all we got Young Thug, all the niggas from the South rapping about killing niggas, selling drugs, buying Gucci YSL for life. All by design. Now we gonna come up out of that. We don't want to listen to that shit no more. So now we coming into a wave of, you know, New York City coming back because they Millie rocking and they Bobby Shmurderin, and yeah, it's gangster music. It's not good, but at least you can dance again in the club. You feel me? This is producing a little wave. Now niggas is doing the Tootsie Slide. Now niggas is, you feel me? It's producing a wave. Dance music. Oh, it's coming back. I guarantee you. They already starting the transition. It really even, I mean, it started, like I said, with negative dance music, you can say, with the Bobby Shmurders in the different world. But at the same time, we was whipping the nay-nay. I bet you those type of songs become more prevalent. Even if you listen to Tootsie Slide, he talking like a gangster in that movie. Black leather gloves, no secret. Buckle on my, it's a leak. Got you look at the album Dark Lanes of Demote. He got a ski mask on in it. You know, if you actually listening to the song, if I knew the lyrics, I could even tell, because I was listening to it the other day. I'm like, damn, he sound kind of hood in that shit. You feel me? But once again, same design. Once the people come up out of that and we don't feel like listening to that garbage no more, they take the new wave, the new style, and then they turn it back against us. The little auto-tune came out, niggas was rapping about their girls, rapping about, you know, love songs and all that auto-tune. All of a sudden, auto-tune, the rappers, they singing, but they singing about killing. All the new auto-tune rappers, all of the new little pumps and whoever the hell up, they all rapping about choppers and all of that, spray you down and lay you down. And all of it is the same hidden hand behind it. And that's the same hand that wrote, that was inspired this article. The same hidden hand. And it's the same hand who have been using Black people as a source of revenue and as a commodity since we stepped foot on the shores of North America. They just found another way to make money off of us. They found another way to utilize and transform Black suffering into a monetary thing for themselves. Like Moses said, let my people go. They refuse to let my people go. And this rap music is just another form of it. But we got to start coming at these dudes, man. We got to start coming at these dudes. If they really felt like there was a presence, a united presence, okay? And the conversation has to get started. It has to start with the conscious community. In the conscious community, we starting to spill over to, other communities, and they're starting to understand and be reinvigorated towards the plight of Black people and what we're going through. And in the conscious community, it's incumbent, it's imperative that we take a united stand against these middlemen, against these niggas that sold their soul and sold their people out and are really, really the chief genocidal war tool. If white folks get up there and tell us to do it, we're going to laugh at them. If they tell us to kill each other, but they need these Black brothers to inspire this type of criminality and this type of criminal behavior within us. They need that. And all of these young boys, they know damn well what they're doing, which is why they could apologize, which is why, once they get in the game and get a little money, they all start to feel a little way and start to try to come back off. Well, some of them try to come back off of it. And they just get scrolls out the game, and then a new young boy comes in. But the hidden hand behind these people are the same. Do you think if Gucci had a new product coming out and they know that their Gucci revenues increase exponentially if rap music come out with a song, or rappers come out with a song, you think they won't pay $1 million to push Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang? That's light work. $1 million? First of all, your song could be, and this is from what I know from being in the music industry, any song could go #1 worldwide with $250,000 of marketing behind it. It's what French Montana put behind the, it's not good enough for you. It's what Rihanna put behind the, only girl, $250,000 of marketing money. Now, yeah, you could do more potentially, but if you put 250 grand liquid assets into one project, that shit is going to be #1 throughout the world. So you think Gucci Gang won't come and put $500,000 million into marketing that particular song to ensure that it's the #1 song in 2017 and that their revenues don't go up? You think the Molly Percocet people won't pay an incentive to Future, who don't even do drugs, to make sure that they produce an entire new generation of drug addicts? Remember, the 70s produced drug addicts. The 80s tried to rectify the problem. The 90s and the 80s had drug addicts as well because of crack, the crack epidemic. So the 70s and 80s, but the early 80s tried to rectify the problem. Then they came out with crack, produced drug addicts. The 90s produced drug dealers. The music of the 90s produced drug dealers to serve all the crack addicts. But once all of the crack addicts begin to die and get older and reform themselves, and whatever the case may be, and the pool of drug addicts begin to diminish, they needed to create and produce an entire new crop of drug addicts. So they created this new crop of drug addicts with the new form of modern day rap, where all of these young boys is getting you to do all of these different types of drugs. Drugs, we always laughed at dudes doing this much drugs growing up. But now they talking about Molly's, they talking about perks, they talking about promethazine, codeine, codeine, lean. They doing acid. They doing ice, meth, weed, alcohol, Xanax. Bro, Adderall. I can name you drugs for days that the rappers are enticing young kids to do. Every other song, they talking about doing drugs. I, as a artist, a DJ, I'm in these circles. I see these young boys coming up. They, you know, the young artists, they give me demos. They send me tracks. Yo, folk, what you think about this? A good friend of mine just sent me his son. His son, 18 years old, just sent me a track. Bro, they talking about doing all the drugs in the world. What makes these young kids feel as though at 18 years old, their music needs to be about doing every drug known to man? That's the climate in which they being raised in. But that is the drug companies. That's who's benefiting off of it. The Gucci companies, the Prada, the Louis Vuitton, the Christian Louboutin companies, the Yves Saint Laurent companies. This is who is benefiting. The Percocet, the Molly, the prison industrial complex, the private prisons. This is who is benefiting off of it. The destabilization, the fact that we don't build our own businesses, which none of the music is enticing us to do. It's all enticing us to sell drugs, act, and food, but none of it is enticing us to build our own business, grow a Black economy. If we were enticed to do these things and the Black community was more stable, then that economy begins to grow, and then we become not a source of revenue or a commodity to the system, but we now become a threat to the system. They don't want this. They don't want that. So they're making sure that they guide you and produce criminals and produce, spenders at an all-time high. How many times do we listen to music? Hello?
Go ahead. Yeah, you good.
All right. How many times do we listen to music and they get us to spend? Yes, they get us. Yeah, I mean, it's so blatant. Oh yeah, I blew this. I blew this last night. I'm gonna F up some commas. I'm gonna some commas. I blew this last night. I blew this. I made it rain. Spent 100 bands and be live. Bro, they raising all of these young boys on the culture of spending, so that even the rappers that get money off of selling their souls, they're not allowed to really produce. They're not allowed to invest. They're not allowed to grow. They're not guided or goaded into reinvesting their money to really, because they become a threat that way. All right, we done gave all of y'all $1 million, $50 million, $100 million. We producing all these Rick Rosses and Drakes and whatever the case may be. Well, we don't want y'all to now take this $50 million and become Donald Trump. We don't want you to take this $50 million and become Warren Buffett. So we're going to incentivize spending and make sure that a part of this, conditioning program is not only getting the youth to spend, but we also going to get the rappers to spend and to make it rain. Spin. You go to any genre of music, they don't even got on one gold chain, let alone 40. These niggas don't even have one earring in their ear, let alone whole earring dripping about to fall out with all types of rocks. They don't have one pair of Jordans, let alone a $1 million Jordan collection with the diamonds in it and the such and such. Bro, these people, the pop stars, the country stars, the rock and roll stars, man, you see them in a Hard Rock Live t-shirt and some denims and they in a cowboy hat and they cool as the other side of the pillow. They come out to their shows in a stretched white tee with their guitar. They want to look like you. They not coming out there with rhinestones and diamonds and all of this type of stuff, which is why I respect certain Black artists who refuse to do that, like Kanye West. You don't see Kanye coming out with 1 million jewels and chains. He the one that'll come out with a stretched t-shirt, some Adidas on and some jeans. Normal, regular. J. Cole, You know, you rarely see J. Cole coming out with 1,000 gold chains on. J. Cole got his afro. You feel me? He regular. Jay-Z, he used to be that way, but now even he coming out of it. You never see Jay-Z with 1,000,000 gold chains on. Bunch of designer this, designer that. Jay-Z come through, he cool, calm, and collected. He got his little afro, you know, his little Afrocentric afro, you know what I'm saying? Normal, regular. But then you got all of these other ones who, you know, they got to wear 40 chains, 50 chains, all the garments, all the gold, all of the wrists, all of the bracelets, the belts, the jeans, the shoes. You walking around with $2 million worth of clothing on. And the chains is really representative of slavery. They had us in chains during slavery. So now we done took their steel chains that they had around our neck, and now we making, you know, we turn them into gold chains, platinum chains, diamond chains. But it's still a chain around your neck representing the fact that you a slave, that you still in servitude, that you still have a master, you still have a boss, you still have an overseer. It's representative of all the same things. So, you know, it's just a shame, man. We got to come up out of this, man. We have to take more of a conscious, coordinated effort towards condemning those Negroes who sold their souls, and sold their people out. We have to take a more concentrated and, you know, cohesive effort and, you know, and coming at them. We need to march for that. You feel me? We need to protest for that. You feel me? That needs to be big on the agenda of Black people. You know? Stop with this running from it, turning a blind eye to it, glorifying these cowards, and then making it seem like, oh no, they don't really control how we act. You just gotta be strong-minded. Like, no, you do gotta be strong-minded, but at the end of the day, we fighting for the weak-minded. We understand that there's, you know, those of us with strong minds, and even the strongest of minds can get corrupted. Trust me, I know. Feel me? The strongest of minds can get corrupted because none of us are perfect. We all have both those demons inside of us. You feel me? It was an old Indian adage, and the Indian adage, it was a grandson. He came to his grandfather and he said, "Grandfather," you know, he asked him, you know, I forgot exactly how it goes. I'm paraphrasing, but he pretty much asked him. I mean, the grandfather told the son. He said, "Grandson, there are two wolves inside of you. One wolf is a wolf of positivity, optimism, growth, of intelligence, of being better, doing better, learning, understanding, growing, whatever, all positive attributes." He said, and then another wolf inside you is a wolf of negativity, of pessimism, of doubt, of unbelief, you know, an accusatory spirit, you know, a spirit of murder, a spirit of death, a spirit of deceit, the ability to lie, etc., whatever. So the grandson asked the grandfather, "Well, which wolf will win, grandfather?" And the grandfather said, "The wolf you feed. The wolf you feed will win. The wolves both exist in you, but the wolf you feed will become prevalent." So if we go to schools and they feed the wolf of Black inferiority, Black doubt, Black self-doubt, white supremacy. We go to the church and every angel white, Jesus white, Mary white, David white, Lot white, Abraham white, all the kings is white, everybody white. Feeding the wolf of white supremacy, of Black inferiority. We turn on the TV, all the superheroes is white, all the protagonists in all the movies is white, feeding, you know, the Black inferiority, white supremacy construct. And then we listen to the music, and the music places no value on Black life. the music places all value on white life by telling you to run from the cops and to kill your own, but don't do it nobody else. It places no value on it reinforces the black inferiority complex because they constantly highlight every negative aspect of black society, all the killing, all the murder, all the drugs, all the thieving, all the guns, all the music highlights every negative aspect, while the white music highlights all the positive aspects and the optimist aspects of their society. All of our music highlights all the negative aspects. Well, then the wolf of negativity and pessimism is being fed constantly, daily, every single day. The wolf of black inferiority is being fed constantly, daily, every single day. So, of course, that wolf is going to prevail and win in a lot of the cases, in a lot of the minds of the youth, especially when you have exacerbated the problem with prison, locking a lot of their fathers and mothers up, AIDS, killing a lot of their fathers and mothers, drugs, a lot of their fathers and mothers is destitute, prostitute, in jail, locked up, dead, strung out. You exacerbate the problem of not having the proper guidance. Then, as my father used to always say, even those who were there to teach their children, well, who taught them? Who taught the teacher? Who taught the parent? The same system. So when you have all of these things, negatively impacting the mind of a child, and then only just a few conscious groups which get no publicity, which get no funding, which get nothing, obviously, and eventually, in the majority of the cases, that wolf of negativity, of doubt, of pessimism, of criminality is going to win. But we still have to identify the system that is feeding that wolf, which is why it's imperative that we remove ourselves from this system. We need black independence, black freedom, so that we can feed the wolves we need to feed. The wolf of positivity, the wolf of optimism, of growth, of freedom, of development, self-improvement, spiritual refinement, moral refinement, economic refinement. These are the wolves that we need to feed as black people, but we're not able to do this because every aspect of our society is getting us to feed the other wolf. And this rap music is a big, 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 big part of feeding that other wolf. They feeding that wolf every day and every night. And they using black bodies to feed it. They feed it black bodies. So, it's imperative that we stand up, man, and that we change the paradigm, and that we start attacking those who deserve to be attacked.
It's definitely good, Bill. We got to call it.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir.
I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I enjoy it.
Definitely. Caller, yeah, you can talk now. I'll take you off mute. I can barely hear you. Talk again. He said 1 second. Yes.
Give me that charger, babe.
The deputy great bill. The chat.
You said what now?
The deputy great bill. The chat was definitely agreeing with a lot of stuff you're saying.
That's good. That's good.
So I changed up how I did things today. Like before today, you will see a whole bunch of panelists. Right?
Okay.
And the panelists would like to be intervening, interjecting or ad-libbing, sound like agreeing, whatever, as you talk. But unfortunately, the chat can't keep it together. The panelists can't keep it together. So this is the first time I'm having a guest go in first. And then we invite people, one by one on the panel to comment, ask a question. So in other words, you are special. You're the first guest to be able to say everything you need to say without somebody interrupting.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for making me feel special, brother. Thank you. That means a lot. But it's definitely important. It's an important detrimental factor in our community, and something that we got to constantly keep at the forefront of the discussion constantly, because as of now, their plan is working, and it's working good. It's working good. All of these young men that we have in jail that's killing one another, that really believe that, criminality was a better life than actually, raising a family, going to get a job, going to school. All of those people are casualties of a very real war that we are in right now. And we have to start acting like that, and, the rappers and those, in the rap community, they are in the war too, but they fighting for the other side. They are the spies. They are being funded by the enemy to purposely destabilize this side of the war. And whenever you find a Benedict Army, whenever you find a traitor, whenever you find somebody who is willing to take some money to make sure to ensure the other side's victory, you got to kill them first. You got to attack them first. So, it's important that we keep this at the forefront of the discussion, and we identify them for exactly what they are, cowards.
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying this for a while. Everybody needs to take accountability of their own actions and their contributions until, to our debacle. Everything we're going through, everybody got to look at themselves and say, what do they do to counter it or contribute to it?
Right.
And I hold everybody responsible. You dig? Like, what are you doing in your life? Because first of all, I'm not like all this building with black folks. That ain't me. Like, I'm only trying to build with black folks who are already in the position to build. I'm not waiting on you. Dig? Like, you got time, go ahead and get yourself together. But as you're doing that, you're not allowed over here.
Right.
Get yourself together first. And I wouldn't mind helping them out, give them advice or coaching or sharing, networking with them, whatever. But as it stands, I'm only willing to do stuff with people who are in position to do something.
Right. Well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, that's the best way to qualify yourself.
Yeah. I feel as though every human being is in a position to do something, and I feel as though working with every individual who is willing to be worked with is our obligation. I feel as though, like my father used to always say, it's your obligation to leave. Make sure that when somebody leaves you, that they're a better person than when they came to you, and whether that be more, morally better, intellectually better, you taught them something, learned something, it's your obligation. Each one teach one, and if their obligation is the same, then you'll both leave that conversation better men, better individuals. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then that particular individual that you teach, whether he may not be in a position to affect change, on a broader social level, he can affect change within his own life, which is just as important. Like Michael Jackson said, you got to start with the man in the mirror. You can't change the world till you change yourself. A lot of us who are in a conscious community who want to change the world refuse to refine ourselves. Refining yourself is refining the world. You be a proof that in the belly of the beast and in the midst of the drugs and in the midst of the bad decision making, you can be sober, make the right decisions, and remain, and continue to fight for the cause. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's each one teach one, man. And then himself, but then also he'll be able to refine his family. Who his family is a part of our family. My father used to always say, and it's true, it's only 4 families in Plainfield, which is the town I grew up in. Everybody related somehow, So if you could change a man so that he can potentially infect and inspire change and reform within his family, then you don't know how broad that particular reform will go, So everybody is worthy, I should say.
Peace.
Hey.
Peace, beloved.
What's going on?
What's up?
My name is Hassan. Just introduce myself. So
Right.
I start,
Peace and blessings.
Same here, bro. Now I wanted to say that, you know, music always, rap music particularly, always stemmed from the music that we heard. Always stems from what was happening in the culture in the community. You know what I mean? Going back to, you know, the message. You know what I mean? That, like, I mean, everything. That's where it comes from. You know what I mean? So like, I get there's two sides to it. Like, there's the business side of it. Where, you know, you
pen and paper. Sorry. I'm
there's
sorry.
the business side of it. There's the business side of it where you can kind of paint this picture where, like, you know, there's these people behind the scenes that's like shaping music and making it, making rap music, you know, the way, you know, and putting it out there a certain way for us and stuff like that. But, you know, at the same time, you know, that changed from, you know, like you were saying, Jadakiss and New York rap and stuff like that to the Atlanta down south. It's the change of the times. Like those rappers just got older and they just didn't get with what was happening with the time. You know what I mean? And as that generation that was listening to those rappers changed, a new generation of people that was younger than them started coming up and they was listening to music too. So they just wasn't on that same type style that the old generation was on. They was on more party and having fun. So that's why you see the just change and the shift in music in terms of, you know, what was being put out on the radio and what people was buying and selling, and what people wanted to hear, because the generation was different. The generation that grew up in the 90s and the 80s was different from the generation from in the 2000s. You know what I mean? So the music was just naturally different. So, and it always reflected what was happening with the community and the people, and black people during that time. You know what I mean? So, you know, you look back in the early 90s, you know what I mean, or 80s or whatever like that, NWA, like, you can go on and on and on and look through history when you talk about rap music particularly, about always been a reflection of what was happening with that culture or subculture, whatever that part of the region, whatever that music was stemming from. You know what I mean? Like, you look at Uncle Luke and all that, they got their own style, you know what I mean? But that's what they was doing. That's what type of thing that they was doing down in Florida, down in Miami, you know what I mean? So, like, it's always been a reflection of the people, and with the business side of it, they just monetize it and monopolize off of it. You know what I mean? So, like, you can say, like, you know, we got to stop doing this and stop doing this and change this and stuff like that. But, you know, the music ain't going to change till the people change. And if the people, you know, that's listening to the music and the people that's, you know, black people together don't go on a different page together outside of music, you know, separate from music in and of itself, if they don't get on the same page collectively about anything, then ain't not really going to change. You know, I mean, you're just going to keep hearing a new style, a new wave, or a new whatever. It's going to just keep happening. And so, like, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's going to be one change to the next. Right. And then, but with the artist role in it is that, you know, like, they have to be more, up until recently, they have recently started to become more business-like in the way that they approach their deals. You know what I mean? So, like, owning their own masters, you know, people wasn't making moves like Master P was, you know, back in the day before Master P made that move. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and people are starting to think like that now. And some people are, but most people aren't. So you got these rappers who want a deal, and they'll take that deal. You know what I mean? And they got to put out certain music, and that's how they're going to have to do it in order to make their money. You know what I mean? They ain't thinking on a different level in terms of, like, getting everybody into one collective. You know, if you think about it, like, how hard is it to get all the rappers, the popular rappers together, that's really selling records and making moves in the business, to get them on a label and say, all right, you know, let's make some real change. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't that hard to do that, but at the same time, you got to remember these rappers got their own personal invested interests into whatever that they trying to build, whatever brand or legacy, whatever they trying to build for themselves. So it's hard to give that up and sacrifice for the greater culture or community or whatever like that. People ain't thinking like that. You know what I mean? That ain't how they came in the game thinking. And it take a while to get to a point where Jay-Z is, where he ain't wearing chains and he's thinking about making these kind of moves. You know what I mean? It takes years to get to that point. After you done did all what you want to do, to really start thinking different. You know what I mean? So like, it ain't gonna happen. I don't see it happening for rap particularly. You know what I mean? Because it's always gonna be one person out and the next man in. That's just how it's gonna be. And unless like the community at large, you know, we change as a black community in terms of like getting on one accord, one agenda with anything, because we ain't got no agenda that we trying to get for black people at all. Then you know it's gonna be reflected in the music. The music's gonna be all over the place. That people gonna keep robbing us for our fashion, our style, culture. You know what I mean? Like it's just what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? So black people, we push everything that's out there in society. You know what I mean? Like it comes from us. You know what I mean? So how they shape it and form it and try to make it, package it and sell it to make it different and appealing or whatever. But it comes from us. You know what I mean? We move culture, we move society. You know what I mean? But we don't have no control over how it is moved. You know what I mean? But our imprints and our fingerprints is there. You know what I mean? We just don't have no control over it.
Yeah. I totally agree with you that we are one of the biggest factors in moving, society. They follow our fashions, they follow our slang, they follow everything we do. I often say everybody want to be black, but don't nobody want to be black. You feel me? Like, they act like us, they talk like us, they rap like us, they emulate us. The young white kids and Spanish kids and everything, they listening to us, and they want to be like us, but yet they don't want to be like us. Now, a few things you said. One thing about, the generations changing. Music been out for a long time. And the generations, you're right, have changed. From jazz, blues, rock and roll, country, R&B, hip hop, this is the evolution of music. As far as music being a reflective of your experiences, I agree that some of the best inspiration comes from the experiences that you have been through. But it's a total, all of your experiences have to come into account when you're writing music. As a person who went from rapping gangster to, writing more positive music, I realized that the entire world of creativity actually opens up when you step outside that box of, you have to rap about this particular thing. You're right. They come from experiences, but why do we glorify all the negative experiences? Why is it that when we talking about experiences that we have to talk about all the bad things that happen to us, all the negative things that happen to us. And then we also have to talk about all the worst ways to solve our problems. Why is it?
That's what sells, man. That's what sells. Negativity sells.
Okay.
Hold on. Look at the news. The news wouldn't be news if you put a bunch of positive stuff on there. But you gotta put the most crazy story out there to get people to watch it. So negativity sells.
I got your point. Negativity sells.
Negativity sells.
I got your point. Now let me finish because I want to go somewhere real quick based upon what you said, and I don't want to lose. I want to lose it. Now, the elevation of rap. That's where I was going. The elevation of rap comes in the styles, comes in the new tunes, comes in the new melodies. It does not necessarily come with just the deterioration in rapping about all things negative. Now, you say negativity sells. I disagree with that. I believe negativity marginalizes you on every single way, shape, form, and fashion. Let's look at the negative rappers and let's look at the positive ones. Let's look at Flo Rida, okay, who don't really rap about killing people or selling drugs. Let's look at will.i.am in the Black Eyed Peas, okay, who don't really rap about selling drugs to me. Let's look at J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, okay, Drake. None of them rap about negativity, killing people, or selling drugs, and all of them are all bigger than every gangster rapper you can think of. Very rare do we have a gangster rapper who is really, really put up, reach those levels like 50 Cent, who really, they put 50 out to reinvigorate people towards being thugs. Because as I said, we was leaning with it and rocking with it and dancing in our white tee at the time. So they wanted to reinvigorate niggas towards being thugs. So that's why they pushed 50 to the max that they pushed him to. But that's the very real exception to the rule. All the positive rappers, all of the men, even the Nicki Minaj's, she has some negative, but she has a whole lane for positivity. Pop music, Starship.
Bro, hold on. I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you. Because we need to come to an understanding of what is negative and what is positive. You talk about Flo Rida, Nicki Minaj, all of these rappers. What do you consider to be negative and positive? Because like
I'm telling you,
if you watching their videos and listening to their music, and you talk about Black Eyed Peas and Meek Mills, is like what do you really consider to be negative and positive? You know what I mean?
So
like,
let's look at the
if you watch the Nicki Minaj video and the whole video, she got her ass out in the video. You know what I mean? You consider that to be positive? What is negative and positive?
Scale, right?
I need to come to that understanding.
Listen, this is a scale, right? So this is negative.
You talking about just lyrics?
Listen, this is negative. This is positive, right? This is a scale, right? Negative, bottom, positive, right? So Nicki Minaj, shaking her behind in the video, it's negative, right? On the scale, maybe about here, but it's nowhere near killing niggas, selling drugs, Uzis, and choppers. That negativity is way down here.
That's who.
So
who says that?
Just let me finish, and then you could talk. All right, because the asses and Nicki Minaj and all of that's cool, but us killing one another, going to prison, being criminals is a lot more of a detriment to us and to young black men. Now, Nicki Minaj, Booty, all working the same, but it's a different level. And I wasn't even talking about that. Those movies with her, videos where her butt is out. I was talking about the messaging. Starships are meant to fly. Hands up, you can touch the sky. I'm talking about the
how
messaging.
many Starship songs she got?
There's a positivity, baby. Turn that off.
Bro, Nicki Minaj ain't positive.
There's a positivity in the. Let me finish, and then you can talk. Let's do it like that. Now, there's a positivity in the messaging that allowed her a lane, which is why she was on B104s and the Z100s and the pop stations and whatever the case may be, and she's way more successful than any of her counterparts. You think Cardi B catching up? She's not at all. Go look at the numbers. She's way more successful than the Megan Thee Stallions, than whoever else that you can think of, even the Little Kims of the world, who delve themselves into pure negativity. She's way more successful because of the lane for positivity. See, when you marginalize yourself in that box, bro, not only can you not walk into McDonald's and hear your music playing on the loudspeaker, Walmart, hear your music, so all your royalties go down. You talking about successful and positive, and you never hear Migos or Lil Uzi or Jada or any one of them on Walmart when you walk in. But you hear Meghan Trainor, you hear all these new Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, all these new white people. You hear them when you walk in. When you go into Universal Studios and Disney World and they got that big jumbotron, you see Bieber, you see these white stars, because they can play that music in front of children, brother. They can play that music in an amusement park, in Walmart, because the positive messaging there. So not only do they remove you from the true diaspora of music, so you can't even have your money play on your music play on the mainstream. They remove you from getting Grammys, awards, all of that, because your music is totally negative. You're rapping about killing people and selling drugs. They remove you from that entire diaspora, so you don't see that money. You don't hear the music. You rarely hear. Every once in a while, you may hear a big time Migos or one of them music on the back end of a movie or something, but that's rare. For the most part, bro, you don't see them on the commercials. You don't see them on the movies because of the negativity aspect that is in. So when you're talking about being successful, you'll be way more successful, positive, because you don't put yourself in a box. You could do the All-Star game like J. Cole did last year. You could do the Grammys like Kendrick did last year. Because your music is not in a box. You are talking about negative.
I'm talking about negative and positive. You starting to detour away from that. I'm talking
I'm
about
not detouring. It's the same point. I'm telling you how all
it's not,
of it
because
was
if you're
against
talking about
wait a minute, brother. Let me finish. You said negativity sells. I'm showing you how negativity doesn't sell. It's the same point. Keep up. I'm telling you it don't sell. And the proof is you're not in Walmart, you're not on Universal Studios, you're not on the main stations, you're not in the mainstream. All the royalties are denied to you. So it don't sell. It don't sell. Even the young kids that are
what make
listening
Nicki
now,
Minaj famous?
even the young kids that are listening now to the music and we getting millions of views on YouTube, it's because of the melodies, brother. Our melodies are unparalleled. We come up with new sounds because we are the original people and we are the greatest people on the planet. So we come up with new sounds and new melodies, and that's what they gravitate towards. The content does not have to be that. You can still rap about good stuff with all the new melodies. Still, I want to go to school. I'm about to go get me that. I'm about to do something and go get me a job. I'm about to do. You can do. I don't care. Whatever. You can still rap about the same.
Bro, who's talking like that? Yo, hold on.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. The reason that we're not talking like that is because we have been forced into believing that that is not okay. But all the new melodies we had before, we can rap about positive music through the 70s, the 80s, through the 60s, through the 50s. What changed, bro? Why over the last 30 years can we come up with all the new melodies we want to, but we have to rap about the same content? Who is controlling that? That's the point I'm making. Who is controlling the fact that all the melodies, all of the new styles, all of this, but yet the content, and then look what white folks do. They take the new styles that you, after marginalizing you and pushing you to the side because you was rapping about a bunch of bull, so they didn't put you on the mainstream, they didn't put you on the Grammys, they didn't put you on the MTVs, they didn't put you on Universal. So now after marginalizing you, 10 years from now, they take your sounds you have and re-put them out to the world via white people. But yet white people got all the messaging you didn't have. So now they winning Grammys for your sounds. Like this is some epiphany that they just, look at how deep that message was in that song. But that's all the companies will put out because they have no interest in music creating positive, free-thinking, intelligent individuals. They don't have no interest in music producing doctors, lawyers, and scientists. They have no business in lawyers producing or stabilizing the black family or the black.
Can I get a word in? Can I get a word in?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out a way to get a word in because it's hard to have a dialogue. No, let me finish. Let me finish. It's hard to have this dialogue if it just becomes like, you know, that and even in the midst of me talking and trying to say my point, if you want to, you know, get in before I go off to somewhere else and then you can't get back to what you was trying to get back to, like I don't mind you jumping in and being like, well, hold on, let me address what you just said. But
you're right.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna let you talk right now, unhindered.
No.
As a reprieve to myself.
If you feel like, what I'm saying is, if you feel like you need to jump in and stop me at a certain point, if you feel like I'm going drifting too far away from the point to bring me back to center, that's fine. Because I don't want to go off.
Look at this, bro. See this?
Let me finish.
This is my list. This is my list of all the stuff that you had when you was talking. I write it down. That's why I let you talk. When you got on the phone, I didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
then when it was my turn to talk, I've been getting cut off and I gotta cut you. I gotta say this. And I let you talk, and then I get back to my point. So I write it down. You should write it down. And when it's your turn, you can talk. But it's your turn now, so go ahead. And I'm
what I'm saying is, it's too many points to write down. When you bring up, like, when you start to address one point, and then like you bring up 5, 6, 7 points that are on alongside of that, I can't like I don't. It takes up too much time than trying to stay focused on a central point. You know what I was talking about was, you know, what do you consider positive and negative? And negativity sells more than positivity does. That's why the conscious rappers don't get. They've never got outside of like the early 90s. Ever since then, you haven't seen conscious rap being put on and played on the radio. So this idea that negativity doesn't sell is just like baffling to me, kind of. You know what I mean? Because like what do you? That's why I asked you the question. Like, what do you consider negative and positive? You know what I mean? Like, just because they might not be, they got like a Starship song that goes across genres or whatever like that. You got one song that's like that, but you listen to the majority of her music, you know, it's not like that. She's talking about having sex with guys that got mandingos and shaking their butts in videos and stuff like that. You look at every time she in a video, she half naked. You know what I mean? Like, so you got young girls that's watching her, and she want them to be her Barbs or her Barbies, and what they looking at? What are they really looking at? You know what I mean? So what do you consider to be positive and negative? I don't see those.
Well, I'm not
see those things being positive effects on or positive influences on people who listen to that music. All you're going to get is a replication of the person that's putting that music out. So you got these young boys, and trust me, like, I work with these young boys every day, and I see and I hear the type of music they listen to. So I'm like, what they do is they listen to the music, and then they try to be the person that they listen to in the music. You know, they start to try to be that person, and they start to act like something that they not. You know what I mean? They start to act like they're gangster only because of the music that they listen to. They can be listening to music and not have nothing to do with the lifestyle that they listening to, but because they listening to that, they want to start to fit that mold. They want to start to fit that image. So they start to try to act hard. They start to try to do all this extra stuff to be that person just because they listening to that music. You know what I mean? So like, and for you to say that that's not negative, it's like you and to point out the few instances where people like can put out a song or positive song, like, so T.I. can put out a song with Rihanna that says "Live Your Life." Like, those songs is cool, but like, you know, on a larger scale, when you talking about, you know, and I'm not talking about like profits and success and stuff. I'm talking about just like the image. Like, what image are they giving us? What image are they giving us on a consistent basis that's positive? You know what I mean? Like, you're not getting that from rap music. You've not been getting that. And you only get that from certain artists in rap, but you don't get that from rap music as a whole, because negativity sells. So, you know, it fits it actually supports what you've been saying this whole time, which means that somebody is the narrative, that somebody behind the scenes is controlling what music is being put out and delivered to the people, and what music is being put out to Black people to influence them, to keep them brainwashed. Like that, it supports that narrative. But what I'm saying is this: at the same time, you know, it does support that narrative, and I don't like believe that that's not happening. I believe that there are people in the music industry that prefer certain music over other type music. Don't get me wrong when I say that, but at the same time, like, it's still the artist's control, especially now today, where you don't need a record label to put out your own music. You don't need a record label.
You're the one who jumping. You're doing a lot of jumping. Let's deal with that particular point that you made. Let's deal with the first particular point that you made. Well, you said that music makes people fit an image, and I agree with that. All right, that actually is going along the lines of what I'm saying. You know, that these young kids, they listen to that music, and even if they're not living that life, they go on to emulate that particular type of behavior, and that's really a testament to the point I'm making. You mentioned T.I. and Live Your Life, and said, you know, oh, that's just one song. You know, he can't come out with songs like that all the time. You know, that's just one song, whatever the case you just said. But that's his biggest song of all time, bro. This is the point.
That's one song out of the many songs.
Let me finish. Whatever you like and Live Your Life. Out of all the hood music he came out with, the two songs with positive messaging, 3, because My Love with Justin Timberlake was the third biggest. The 3 with positive messaging was his biggest of all time. Now, you talking about what's my definition of positivity and negativity. I ain't never said Nicki Minaj was a positive artist. I don't know where you got that from. Never did I say that. I said her coming out with positive music gave her a lane, and it made her bigger than if she would have stuck and stayed in the box. When she came out with the Super Bass and the Starships Are Meant to Fly, and all of these particular pop songs that had great messaging. Let's go to the beach, let's go get away. And I did, let's go. all good songs. Laying on the floor. Oh, she ain't right about killing nobody, selling no drugs. She telling people starships is meant to fly. You gonna be somebody. You gonna be good one day. That lane made her into an even bigger artist. And then guess what? When you walk into Walmart now, you hear Nicki Minaj. Starships. When you go into Universal Studios and you see that big jumbotron, you see Nicki Minaj because she had positive music to jump in that lane. See, I already explained this. There's levels of positivity. Yes, this is the worst, and yes, this is the best. The higher you get up that scale of positivity, the more mainstream you can become, the more successful you can become. So when you say negativity sells, in what regard? Because ain't none of them
In all
rich.
regards.
Ain't none of them rich. Ain't none of them get money.
Hey, my brothers on the panel.
Let me finish. Nicki Minaj can sell out 250,000 show in Liverpool. Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. These people they can sell out $250,000 in Liverpool. Jadakiss was at Horizons last week. He was at Club Gravity last week. Like at the end of the day, how does it sell? In what way, shape, form, or fashion? A lot of the people that we have that are truly uber successful, they don't rap about none of that stuff. They don't rap about killing people or selling drugs. So the point you're making is moot. When you say negativity sells, and that's why these artists have to make this music, they don't. They're making the music because, like you, they believe that's what people want to hear. And they believe that's what people want to hear because they have been saturated for 30 years with this type of Black music. So they believe that every type of Black music has to operate within the confines or the paradigm of that particular negative, construct. And it does not. All of the ones who have ever been truly successful were the ones who stepped out of the box. The only people who are successful.
Hey, can I contribute to the conversation?
The only people who are successful.
Right
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, that's somebody background noise.
Oh, the only people who are truly successful off of negative music and gangster rap is white folks. It's the enemy. They the ones who fill in prisons, got us spending all of the money, not building anything so we can't become a threat to their economy. They're the ones their population control agenda is being implemented in full effect through the music. Okay, running from the police. The only people who are benefiting from the music is them.
All right, can I speak, man? Because I feel like the build is turned into a debate. You guys are going back and forth, and you guys are hitting good points, but we need to expand the conversation just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
If y'all don't mind. Peace
Yes,
to the
sir.
panel. This is the Watcher. And again, I don't have any disagreements with other.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
Bring me a water, baby. No, I was telling my wife to bring me a water. I'm sorry.
Right on. Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't have any disagreements with what you guys are saying because you guys are both building on good points. But I mean, we're getting, I don't want to say confrontational, but we're going back and forth. But let's expand it. Try something else. I heard your build, and it was pretty good. Now I have a few questions. And again, I'm not coming at you contentious. This is not gotcha, but I just want to ask questions, if not for myself, for the audience. So the first question I have, for the brother, was it DJ? Let me see, DJ Focus. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that the music that's out right now, is that influencing the youth or influencing the generation?
Absolutely. I believe it's one of the most influential and quintessential factors when it comes to the conditioning the minds of the youth. Okay.
And who's in your opinion or your knowledge, since you seem like pretty knowledgeable about the music, who's the biggest consumers of the said music?
Well, I believe that is young white kids, but that's relative as well because, those numbers are based upon, them, purchasing or streaming on more legit sites, I mean, they too have, ways to access the hidden sites, but we bootleg things more, always have. So those numbers is relative, you know what I'm saying? But
okay, well then let me try to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Did you finish?
Yeah, but Well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Okay, because I'm trying to get an understanding, at least a percentage of a pie. So we realize that we're what, 13-14% of the population?
Those numbers are relative too. I don't believe those numbers.
Well,
For
what
various
seems
reasons.
logical to you? 'Cause I mean, I'm not trying to put any, I don't want to run with a false narrative. I'm just trying to get an understanding. Like, what percentage just of people do you, in your opinion, and it doesn't have to be exact, just what percentage do you think?
I truly believe that there will be no way for us to truly quantify it based upon the fact that mixed kids that are like Black and Spanish, they create, they use them as Hispanic.
Right.
A lot of people put other because they're from the islands and they don't want to put African American, so they may be West Indian, but they still Black, and they put other. A lot of people don't fill out the census at all, including myself. So those numbers are relative as well. And I don't really believe that we'll be able to find a way to truly quantify the number. I would just put it somewhere along the lines of 40 to 60 million, 40 to 80 million, something like that.
Okay, so would you try to say that's at least maybe 30%, 40% of the population?
If we go to over 8 million, then that would be just over 25%.
Okay, so we're about 25% of the population. And of that 25% of the population, recognizing that some are older, majority of people are older, some are younger, some are females, what percentage of that 25% do you think is actually buying or listening to the music?
There would be no way to quantify it, but one thing that I will say is there are a lot more children than there are adults because adults die. So therefore, right.
But my guy, I'm not trying to nail you down or anything. I'm just trying to get an understanding before I speak.
Bro, you can't nail down truth.
I feel you, my G. But I feel like I'm trying to get information and then you're just diluting it, or you're.
I'm not diluting it. I'm telling you that I don't have respect for these numbers that they come out with.
And I can acknowledge that, but I would. Right. But if I'm asking for your opinion. Okay, because you don't you don't believe in the general consensus of what's being put out there, and I can respect that. I can understand that, but just so we can have a build in the conversation, because we're speaking to an audience as well, Right. So I'm trying to get an understanding of, or I'll just go right to the point. We can say it's 25%, and I can be generous and say maybe half of them are listening to the genre of music, and I believe that's real over exaggerating, but just to get to a point.
I disagree with that. I believe
you would
all
say
of them,
more.
I believe up to 80%, because you have to realize that's what's being pushed on the radios. That's what's being pushed in the club. So if you get in the car and turn on the radio and want to listen to anything you can identify with, this is what you're going to hear. So even the adults, I'm a DJ, bro, and I know what gets the party shaking. I do 50th birthday parties, and they be like, "Yo, put that new Cardi B on." Like, so all of them listen to it. So the vast majority. You'll have a few who may be on their dean or maybe really in the church or gospel right now at this particular time, but that's relative too. A few years down the line, they end up listening to it too. So the vast majority of our people are affected by this music.
Okay, so you're saying 80% of our people, you believe, are really rocking with this hip hop music and being influenced by it. Okay, but we understand that
I said the vast majority.
Other people.
So go ahead.
Right. Okay. That's the way to get up off that number. All right, I feel you. So we're now back to the other side of the group. So it's a consensus, or you would agree that the major consumers of this music is not Black. Is that a fair point?
Well, yeah. Well, I can't say are not Black because there's different ways of consumption. You want to quantify how much Spotify downloads. There's no way to quantify how many people turn on the radio and go to Hot 97 or Power 99 because they want to listen to music that they can identify with, or that they're in the car with their kids and their kids put on music and their kids put on the Hot 97. There's no way to quantify this.
I get it.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm trying to do, that's why I started with the population. If you recognize that if we're 25% of the population and we see these people are becoming millionaires and stuff off of their music, we got to be realistic as far as the buying power. That's not really coming from the Black community. That, they're selling this money, or they're making it the highest. Like, if you look at the numbers and stuff, the major consumption of this music and stuff is actually happening in the Midwest. It's not even the coast. The coast are not making these guys millionaires. Do you understand that?
I mean, that point may very well be true, but the numbers are totally irrelevant because no matter who buys the music, we identify with it. whites,
Right, I get
Spanish,
that.
Mexicans, and everybody else can
Right,
buy
but
music,
see,
but they
you're
listen to the
answering my
music.
question.
So I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, you're answering my question,
And you're running beyond my narrative because I'm trying to get these points out to get to my point. So I'm trying
Okay, go ahead.
because and that's what smart people do. I get it. You hear a question and you understand where I'm going, so you're going beyond that to give me more insight, and I can respect that. But the point that I'm getting at is, if these people are consuming the music more than us, how come they're, and you're saying the music reflects the people, how come they aren't being reflected, or they're not emulating the type of music, especially if they're listening to it more?
Because they listen to our music from a detached perspective. It's like watching a movie. You know, for them, they don't live in these communities. They don't see the suffering firsthand, so they're able to, feel the vibes, feel the music, and listen to it, but from a detached perspective. And it does affect some of them. Some of them are out here doing drugs because of it. Some of them are out here robbing because of it. They don't, prosecute their own to the level that they prosecute ours. They don't. I know white kids who drove around selling all manners of drugs and never been arrested, never even thought about it, because they riding through the white community with white people in their car, and they're not, targeted like we're targeted. But don't get it twisted. They are being influenced as well, but not to the degree that we're being influenced. See, if you listen to a song and they're talking about the chicken shack and Uzis and the such and such park and the basketball court at this, that, and whatever, and this girl and with that girl, and the hood in front of the bodega, and these are things that you got to be in the hood to identify with. Then the caveat is they put this "you got to be real" connotation to it. So for everybody else, they can listen to it as fiction, but for us, you got to be real. So if you're an artist, you had to be really doing this stuff. And if you are a listener who really feeling the music, you want to go do this stuff, so that in your mind, if you can't be a rapper, you could be who the rappers is talking about. All the rappers talking about my life. I'm the star. And then convoluted and adversely, the young women feel as though, well, if I can't get the rapper, I'm going to go get who the rapper talking about, the trap boy, the drug dealer. But you got to be in the hood to understand these experiences, to be affected by these experiences. That's why they put all, but you can't find, bro, go to Netflix, go to the movies, go to any one black dude who is totally irredeemable, but one black dude. The only place you can find an abundance of black dudes is in rap videos or in the NBA. That's the only place. So for a young black clique or young black team or young black gang growing up who are looking for something to identify with, I don't see myself in church. I don't see myself in the educational system. They teach about a bunch of white folks. They teach about a bunch of white people in church. All the angels, Jesus, and everybody white. Lisa, hush. Everybody white. I don't see myself when I read a comic book or turn on the Avengers. I don't see myself when I turn on Netflix and see all of the stories and the protagonists therein. So the only place I see myself, since I'm looking for myself, I'm looking for something to emulate, identify with, is the music or the ball court. So now everybody want to be a basketball player, but when that failed, you realize you're not going to be 6'7" and you don't got no J and you can't dunk. What's the next best thing? I'm going to be a rapper. And if I can't rap, I'm going to be who the rappers talk about, who the rappers emulate, the stars of the community. It's like a police. Police officers feel emboldened and they feel like they superstars and rock stars, even though they local as hell. Why? Because it's a bunch of movies about cops. So when they put on that uniform and that gun, they really feel like they JT Smith action star. They really feel like they about to go fight crime, like they RoboCop, because there's so many movies about cops. So if I can't be a movie star, I'm going to be what the movies is about. Well, it's the same thing with rap music. If I can't be a rapper, well, I'm going to be the next best thing. I'm going to be the thug, the trap boy, what rappers rap about. So that fact that we identify closely with these people, well, therein lies the difference. And as I said, you'll never be able to truly quantify the numbers of who actually consumes, because you're talking about consumer in the sense of spending money on, but then you also talk about consumer in the sense of taking in, you consume it. Okay? So as I said, if a young black mother got 3 black kids and she got to turn on Hot 97 for them or turn on the music for them, she's consuming that music whether she bought it or purchased it or not. She's consuming it.
Okay. Well, I mean, right. Because what I'm trying to do is get an understanding, but it seems like maybe it's more complicated than I can grasp, and I can respect that. And again, this is not a debate. I'm just asking the questions, not for me, but just for the chat and people who listen to this weeks and months from now. So you gave your presentation and you spoke on how the music is being infiltrated and actually ran by certain people who have an agenda that they're putting out. Is that correct so far?
Yes, sir.
Just paraphrasing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, because I listen to a lot of rap music, hip hop, gangster music, and it didn't really influence me to that degree. Well, it changed my perspective, and I'll be honest. However, it didn't make me run out and go stick people up and do all the ignorant type of shit. I recognize music for what it was, and I've had these conversations with people on the panel. Now, we're in a new age and a new era, so I can't really speak to the quantity or the quality of music that's out right now. So with all the lean and all the extra pop and all this other type of shit, I mean, I didn't listen to that quality type of music, and I don't really mess with too much of the new music now. So I have to concede to a point if people are saying like people are rapping about Molly and Percocets and popping pills and lean and all this type of shit, and then the dudes are running out doing it. You know, you can name a few Nicki Minaj quality or nice songs, but I got to be blunt with you, my dude. Majority of the information I see and a lot of the music that I hear from her is not quality. It's about booty popping, and we can debate. Oh, I don't even want to debate, but I understand that you guys had a conversation about how detrimental it is to a society. But when you have women think that they can be extra promiscuous and they can just run around chasing the bag or chasing the dudes and listen to Cardi B, that shit does also break up the home. It gives women or certain females who are susceptible to that, it gives them a different lane to run down. And they may have 1 or 2 positive songs, but to keep it blunt, that's not the songs that they're constantly playing in rotation when they want to go out and quote unquote get down. So, I mean, we got to be realistic on that. And I understand the analogy you use with the crayon, saying there's different degrees of it, but just to broaden the conversation, we have to recognize it's detrimental to certain people, especially at younger ages when females think that they can do certain things, and even the younger kids or the young males feel like they can go run the streets and pop these pills without any consequences. So I'm not in the younger music because I heard you even spitting some of the lines, you know, the melody. So again, you're a DJ, so you know more of the music than I do. I'm speaking of, you know, or I'm just trying to ask these questions and put it out there, and I'll admit that I'm out of my element. So I'm not going to say I'm right and you wrong type shit or type thing. So, I mean, I would like to hear you speak on that, honestly. And before I hop off, I had one other point, but I didn't want to go too much back and forth. But yeah, I do appreciate your content and you contributing to the panel. And I know there was other people in there as well.
I definitely appreciate you hopping on and you know, us being able to converse and dialogue. You know, my thing is, I never said Nicki Minaj was a positive artist. The only reason I brought her up was because he said negativity sells. I'm showing you that she was able to jump into a lane and she was able to grow to a point she would never have been able to grow to because of her positive side. Then I went on to talk about the Black Eyed Peas. I went on to talk about Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake, different individuals who don't rap about killing anybody, selling any drugs, or even buying Gucci or any of that. Black Eyed Peas and them don't rap about, and they're all way more successful. They all did Super Bowl halftime shows and all of that, way more successful than the negative artists. That's the only reason I brought her up. You can't play the booty popping Nicki Minaj music in Walmart. You can't play it on the Jumbotron at Universal Studios and Disney World or at Six Flags or at Dorney Park. But you can play Starships and Winterfly. You can play Superbass. The fact that she joined that lane of positivity pop music, it afforded her a global a position that she would never have been able to get if she was in negative, purely putting out negative music. So I say all that to say, negativity does not sell. It marginalizes you. It keeps you from selling. It keeps you from getting Grammys. It keeps you from getting respect. It keeps you from being mainstream. It keeps you from being on the Jumbotron and Universal Studios, on the loudspeaker at ShopRite or Walmart. It keeps you from all of this. There is no benefit for us in the music at all. The only people benefiting is them, which is why the music stays prevalent, because they want to keep putting it out. You think these little,
Okay, so,
little
but you're
Uzis,
saying
little
there's a
punks
gate.
come out of nowhere, but they are being funded. You look at Atlantic Records and the people that they signed and they put out, Kodak Black, Cardi B, all of these people, they are 100% negative, 100%. Like if you look at the list of rap artists that they have, Atlantic Records, and then on the other side of that, you got Bruno Mars. On the other side of that, you got, positive, artists on Atlantic. But the black artists on Atlantic Records, the vast majority of them, is all hood rapper extraordinaires, bro. If you actually look at it. So that means they have a vested interest in making sure that the deteriorated black mind stays prevalent. They make
All right,
sure.
I got one last point.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It was just one last point. This is more like trying to get to a solution before I get off. So are you recommending that, because, okay, you first start out by saying that there's gatekeepers, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, and correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. There's kind of like gatekeepers who have a secret hidden agenda to make sure that the music that comes out is going to be negative so they can fill the private prisons and get people weakened in the state of this community. And I was trying to understand because I was under the influence or under the knowledge.
And to spend money and to further their population control agenda, among other things. But
okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And I was under the influence that the environment that people live in more so than the music influences them. And and then we went to speaking on majority of the music that's listened to. I'll say that, in opposed to using consume or purchase, because the era's changed with the quality and the type of music, So I was under the understanding that majority of the music is purchased or consumed by middle America. And again, so I was wondering how come they're not affected by, if it's solely the music more so than the environment. But to get towards the solution, would you recommend that people go independent or do SoundCloud and all this type of stuff to get their music out, even though we know it's not going to make any money, like Tribe Called Quest and Q-Tip and all these quote unquote conscious rappers? They can come out, but they're not going to compete. They're not going to fill stadiums. And again, I don't mean to be negative, but I haven't seen it. So let me say that I don't see them filling these stadiums. I don't see them competing on the level where they can thrive and survive, because 9 times out of 10, you may be a better man than me, but most of the music I listen to is hardcore, grimy, and it gets shit popping. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you have like 80% of your music catalog that you really bump is just conscious enough, because I mean, I just got turned on to cats like Griselda and all this type of stuff. So I mean, like, it's the newer generation that I'm listening to, that I'm trying to find. They got to have something that I quote unquote relate to or that entertains me. I'm not above or against listening to that conscious music, but it just, I'm keeping it a buck. It just don't rock with me. So your solution, or to recommend, they're not going to get into big industries and blow up by making positive music. So is your suggestion to go independent?
Well,
and I'll take my answer off I'm gonna go ahead and check out. Peace to the panel, but I'll take it off there.
Peace to the black guy. Well, there's always been a lane for positive music in the underground and in the independent circuit. That lane has been, magnified, and it's been opened up with this advent of social media and YouTube and all of these ways that we can get the media out there ourselves, and these third party marketing companies, where we can really go market ourselves and distribute it ourselves via Apple Music, Spotify, with sites like DistroKid or TuneCore. All of these things have exponentially increased the viewability of the underground artists, when before you could only find underground artists. You had to dig deep to get underground artists. Now it's a lane for them. So you definitely don't want to sign with a major if they're going to make you compromise your integrity or compromise what it is that you stand for, or make you sell your people out. That's not what you want to do. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want to compromise your soul, to that degree. But there, like I said, there is still a lane for it. There's still a lane for it. I think the solution, and a point you made, you said you just don't rock with, positive type music. Well, I really think that you need to open up and expand your horizons, because there's a lot of positive, good, I ain't gonna say positive, but music that's not about killing each other and selling drugs. You don't have to be Malcolm X in your bars or John Gotti. Like, there is a middle ground. You can rap about things. You can rap about stuff. You can make a song called My Flat Tire. And the first verse can be about how you got the flat. The second verse can be about how you fixed the flat. The third verse can be about how your daddy taught you how to always have your tools and fix flats. And the song could really be about your dad, but you called it My Flat Tire, and now you're getting a Grammy because your dad taught you how to fix flat tires. Nigga, it's so much things to rap about. There's so many creative ways for you to go out there, and those who explore these creative ways are the ones who are truly successful. So you say you don't rock with it, expand yourself. And even if you don't rock with it, I mean, there's a lot of things that's bad for you, bro, that you got to give up. I mean, you like smoking weed, you know, and the weed is causing you to, you know, to get the screwage. You're not getting anything done. You know, your money is going in the gutter. You ain't got fired from the job. Nigga, you need to quit smoking weed. Just because you like it. Oh, yeah, but I like weed. So just because you like gangster rap don't mean it's a detriment, not a detriment to our people. Just because that's what you want to rock with don't mean you don't have to refine yourself. And as you said, you don't listen to the new music anyway. And the reason you don't listen to the new music is because you can't rock with it. You can't rock with all of the BS that goes on in it. So you have detached yourself from it because you know damn well you don't rock with it. So, you know, it's imperative for us to be real, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the solution for us, for me, you know, it starts with unity, yes, but it also starts with us identifying them as the true detriment that they are. Every time I bring this point up, it's somebody want to argue with me, telling me that it ain't the music, and the white kids got buying more, so they should be acting like bro, no, it is the music. You can see us acting, dressing, talking, thinking, moving, walking like rappers. I already expressed the fact that we identify with them. There's a connection we have to them. We're in the hood, so you had to be in the hood for you to understand even what they're talking about, understand the bodegas and the this and the that and Poppy store and whatever the hell they talking about in the trap spot and the connect and the this and that, whatever. You got to be in the hood to identify with these landmarks, to identify with these things. So it's going to resonate deeper within you, and it's going to cause you to emulate at a higher level than anybody else.
Yeah, focus. Let me say this, because you know I'm engaging in the chat. You dig, and we're like talking about different things, and there's a misconception that rappers rap about their experiences. Like, that's false. Some do, but some don't. You dig? Right. Some be faking because again, like you pointed out earlier, like this is the wave to rap about this. So for example, I get dough when the 6-4 motherfuckers I run with, they get dough. That niggas better run and get your gun or get one for my 6-4. That's my bars. I don't got no damn gun. I was never a gangster. Right. But I was but I feel like this is what I had to do.
I'm biased on the mic.
Big. So the thing is, if I ever got large, of course I would keep that because that's what's selling. But I got on the block gun stops. I got raps about like positive shit too. You know, about the women. When we used to go back and forth. I got some Malcolm X bars, but that's not catchy. I can't go to a cipher with that. So the thing is, had I become huge, large, I popped off, got a deal, y'all will be saying I'm rapping my experiences, which is totally false. And like the average freestyle cipher, these dudes ain't got $1 million. These dudes rapping about Porsches outside. Nigga, you walk to the gym. So there's a misconception that we're rapping about our experiences. No, we are rapping about what we think is going to sell. Is going to get us, you know, a deal. That's what we're rapping about.
We fall back to it. And it's funny because as a rapper, I write positive music, but I was such a gangster rapper for so long that whenever I start freestyling, I turn straight thug. I don't even know how. I can't freestyle without being a thug. I stopped freestyling. I try to freestyle positive, actually didn't work.
I try so much to like
I revert back to the guns, and I'm like, damn, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's my base. That's what I revert. I actually had to work at freestyling positive because I freestyled negative for so long. So I know, I get it. The thing is, they're not rapping about their experience. They're rapping an exaggerated form of a potential experience that exists within the confines of what people want to hear.
Right.
That's it. But there's a lot of potential experiences to rap about. A lot,
Right.
that will actually afford you, more success than out here rapping about the same old BS. When you rap about that same old BS, you're only worried about lining your own pockets. Okay, you're doing what you think, will sell or what people want to hear at the total expense of your morals, your self-pride, your self-respect, your people, at the total expense of everything.
Hey, yo, yeah, I just
That makes
got
you a
done.
traitor.
Hey,
That makes you a traitor. If we,
I got it.
Oh, go ahead.
I have to insert this, my brother.
Go
I
ahead.
just got done watching Migos' new album. They got money in the video, and I don't think anything's about money. And then you look at Moneybagg Yo, a new single, Me Versus Me. Nothing's about money, but he got money on the damn video.
Right.
So
Right.
every if you look at Lil Baby and my man, it's called, what's that called? The new single.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
The little short fat dude from the little short.
Gunna.
Anyway, it's dope, but they got money too. But it ain't about money. It's about killing folks. But every album, every song I see, every track I see, they got telephone bundles of money, but the rap is about something totally different.
About something totally different.
Right. So why are they putting this money in every video? Like, no matter what it is, you got to have stacks of money in it, racks and racks on racks in every video.
They want to raise you on a culture of spending. And, it really baffles me how people constantly want to listen to it, because they talking about a whole bunch of stuff you don't have. They bragging about the fact that you'll never get it. They talking about the fact that they will screw your girl in a heartbeat, and how they got your girl doing this and she was acting strange for, like, bro, don't you want me to buy your album, nigga? You sitting there telling me all the stuff that I ain't never gonna be, and you got, like, bro, what happened to making music that was for me, that heals my soul,
right,
that was for your fans? You feel me? Nah, it's the only music that's good. But once again, it goes back to the overall agenda and the overall plan that they have. You gotta realize every facet and every aspect that is affected with this rap music. They are not only affecting what we wear and what we drink and what we smoke and what we pop, they affecting how we dress and what we eat and how we approach our brothers and how we approach our sisters and how we approach our community, and they affect every aspect of us. They affecting, like I said, those who manufacture guns are making money. Those who manufacture the weed are making money. Those who manufacture the drugs are making money. Those who manufacture the Gucci is making money. Those who manufacture the Louis Vuitton is making money. You ramp up crime, then you use our taxes to infuse money into the police force, and they get brand new cars and new vests and new guns and new trucks. And you do all of that based upon the crime or whatever that's in the area and the taxes that we pay, because it's so dense that you fit so many people in one particular area. So now you got all of this money. Now you're using it to fund the police, to give them raises, to build police funds and such. So even the police is benefiting from the suffering. You got the prison industrial complex. You got the poverty industrial complex benefiting from it. Every aspect of society is benefiting from rap music except us. We dying, we suffering, we getting locked up, we destabilized, we destroyed, we strung out, we fiends, we sell it. Bro, it's clear. It's clear who's in control of it. It's clear who is comfortable with this messaging. It's more of a threat to them to produce, like I said, intellectual Black people than it is to produce criminals. But wait a minute, you'd rather have a bunch of gun-toting criminals in your society than doctors, than lawyers? You'd rather invest in prisons and invest in making sure that they stay subjugated and make sure that they keep killing each other? You'd rather invest in that than investing in them? and making the nation greater than investing in this particular people, in their education, in their growth, in their mind? Do you view them as citizens? Do you believe that they can bring America up, or do you want them to do exactly what they've always done? Make money for you. Do you feel as though you can make more? See, we're teetering on the brink of total war, and we always have been. Whenever you rip people from the shores of their country, brutalize them, sell them, lynch them, burn them alive, tar and feather them, chop their fingers off, chop their feet off, chop their tongues out, decapitate them, rape them, mutilate them, marginalize them, subjugate them. Whenever you do this to a people, crack them, AIDS them, gangster rap them, Willie Lynch them, Jim Crow them, redline them, Housing Act of 1930 them, Civil Rights sham them. When you do all of this to a people, your number one fear is of retribution. You think we gonna wake up one day and be like, oh, y'all been doing all this to us, and then get our revenge? But even though that's not in us, we just want freedom. We just want to be away from you. But you really fear our retribution. So now you're spending so much money on wiping us out, destabilizing us, turning us against one another. Oh, bro, the war against the black man is in full effect. It's in full effect, but the war is taking place in the minds of the individual. I seen a brother earlier post a picture of Black Panthers walking down the street with guns. And he was like, yeah, some of y'all afraid, but this is what we really need. Now, I told him, I said, bro, I disagree. I vehemently disagree with that's what Black people need, more guns. We need guns to walk down the street. We got guns now. They ain't scared of us. We got guns, Uzis. They know all the guns and Uzis is in the hood. They still robbing, raping. They still kidnapping our women. They still shooting us down. Police brutalizing us. They still doing everything. And they know when they tackle you right in the middle of 115th and Lenox, 120th Lexington, that all them niggas gonna sit right there and watch this cop violate this young black man. And half the people sitting around got guns on them. But you wouldn't let dude from 150th come around and slam your man up. Y'all gonna jump him and roll him out. But now the police can come in, they can do whatever they want to, and y'all sitting there. So y'all got guns now. They don't strike fear in the heart of the enemy. Because they just gonna tell you what to do with them guns because they got control of your mind. So that's not the answer. We got guns now. What you gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna walk around flashing them in the air. So they can have a reason to bring in the National Guard, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, you know what I mean? The Air Force. Most Elijah Muhammad said it the best. You get guns, they gonna get machine guns. You get machine guns, they gonna get bazookas. You get bazookas, they gonna get tanks. You get tanks, you can't win the war fighting it their way. The war today is in the minds of the individual. So the warriors of today are the intellects of today. The warriors of today are those who are deeply rooted in knowledge, those who can teach young kids how not to use the gun when the whole system is telling them to use it. We got to be in the business of giving life, not taking life, which is why I disagree with the whole, Black Panther, we need guns things. We need unity. We need separation. We need to come together and succeed. That's what we need to start looking out for each other, looking out for ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? We don't need more guns. We don't need more guns. And like I said, they ain't worried about that anyway. Now, what they is worried about is all of us coming together and making a decision, which is why if you look at when all of us came together and refused to do the Super Bowl, Jay-Z and Cardi B and Beyonce and everybody, they refused to do the Super Bowl. They said, nah, we're not going to do it because of how y'all did Kaepernick, A, B, and C. Yo, bro, that next Super Bowl, it looked like a Black History Month homage. I ain't never seen this many Black history. Bro, the commercials, they had Malcolm X, they had Martin Luther King. Yo, and the Super Bowl is doing Black History Month every year. You've never seen this outpour of Black love till we all stood together and said, no. See, that's the true power is in the unity. Us coming together, and this is what I'm saying about the music. We have to identify not only the fact that it's a detriment and that we are actually being affected by it, but we also got to identify those niggas who sold us out, and we have to vilify them. We have to come together, a united force against them so that they feel and know, look, if I come out with this type of music, my community is going to have a problem with me. If I come out with this type of music, my community ain't going to rock with that. yeah, you give me a couple money, but I ain't gonna be safe in the hood. I come out with this damn music. That's how it needs to be. Period. We need them to understand. Go ahead and sell yourself. Bro, if we in a war and the enemy, after they enslaved us, is really wiping us out and putting programs and policies together to make sure that we lose this war in every way, on every front, we lose this war. We really in the middle of a war. Then that means all of those rappers who joined the other side and who made sure that the enemy is winning by keeping us destabilized and keeping us in prison, who by keeping us killing one each other, keeping us on drugs, those is traitors, bro. What happened to traitors? Since when did the traitors get glorified? We look up to the traitors. We glorifying the traitors. Future, all these niggas is traitors. They are working with the enemy to keep us subjugated, keep us down, keep us enslaved, keep us on drugs. They Benedict Donald. And you telling me you telling me we can't come together as a united force against them, but we can come together against Trump? One Trump who's been doing the same thing all of the rest of the presidents been doing, but yet you can let all these artists come out, artists after artists, choppers, spray your whole clip down. And nobody say nothing. Not a rally, not a march, not a march on Washington, not a YouTube assembly, not a Sonetta Studios. You telling me we not sitting here talking about these niggas who have sold us out to this degree? Who got our babies killing each other, selling drugs to this degree while they sitting in mansions, living it up, concocting the next genocidal war, the next genocidal album, living up in music, and then laughing at us, telling us they gonna screw our women, showing us money we ain't never gonna have, telling us, yeah, you ain't never gonna get this. Laughing about it as they serve our kids up to die, and we don't got nothing to say about it. I nigga, where we, yo, bro. See, even we asleep. We think we conscious, but we conscious to what they will allow us to be. We conscious in the confines of their allowance. They give us what it is we gonna fight for. Or they give us our heroes. Bro, we got to step up. We got to stop.
Let me say this, that you know, like, and not just the people that's viewing this, but in general, like definitely from my experiences, like we kind of like I mean, like it's weird, but I do know that we make up excuses for our negativity, right? So, like, let's just look at it like this. Like the majority of our rappers, like, where's the balance?
Mm-hmm.
You dig? So let's say if everybody was experiencing that, okay, but we still need balance. Like everybody
Right.
can't rap about negativity because it makes the entire race look crazy.
Right.
So there gotta be some balance. Like, you know, everybody can't do this. Every woman can't rap about shaking their butt and whatever. Some of y'all gotta change it up. And you know, the producers are responsible for that. Like, no. We need some more diversity in this genre of music. You dig? But and again, the outcry from us, we tolerate it. Like the people have a lot more power than what we think. If the people was like, oh, listen, man, I'm tired of the same, music, different lyrics, different beat, but it's the same content.
Mm-hmm.
Like the record labels and producers, like they'll be forced to, all right, listen, we got, they'll be forced to convince the artist, like, nah, that might not be the direction we want to go with this album. You might want to go over here with it,
Right.
But we don't see, like, we're not disgusted, and nothing will change until we get disgusted.
Right. Let me use the bathroom real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, Hassan, you still there? If anybody else want the link to go in, let me know if y'all want to. You dig? I can't let everybody on because it get too crazy. Yeah, get rich or die trying. So we gonna act like drill music ain't running the youth. Joe Pesci, Utes, Road to Balance, but it's not promoted. If you're waiting for balance, go to top. You're wrong. Ask him if he would like still be preaching. This is Pac was still walking the streets. I think not. Y'all create the music you want to hear, and I agree with that. You create the music you want to hear. And then, like you said, you guys are saying alternative. You know, the way you don't got to sign with a record label, you can go a different route. I agree, especially in this era. Peace, Princess War.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
So I was reading the chat, and the chat said well, produce the music you want to hear. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, I strive and struggle every day to do it. I'll spit a little something for y'all that I did in a cipher not too long ago. It went a little viral, you know what I'm saying? But I'll spit it for y'all to the best of my abilities. It's a little lengthy, but you'll get the point. The beat was incarcerated Scarfaces.
Oh, damn.
So I had to speak to all my incarcerated Scarfaces out there. And basically I said, I'm African intellectual on an active mission to keep the rest of you from making bad decisions. This acumen is the best for you. Massive children with bad intentions, and we neglected to have them listen. Now they pack in prisons in the correctional. Black civilians trapped in the system. It's unacceptable. Tragic system lacking the vision to go invest in you. Massive villains snatching the vision that they done kept from you. Masochism and capitalism will be the death of you. Mad division, lacking addition, always testing you, subtracting wisdom. Mathematicians made a mess of you. Cats is rich and blacks is just chilling. Nothing left to do but stack until it's half of a billion to the decimal. They act as if the African black infinitesimal, but after peeling back all the capping, I'm getting skeptical. Cats is hitting cat from the back and it's nothing sexual. In fact, they got you trapped in a trap. I'm here to rescue you. Look, they made you stealers and they led you to jokes. That's why a lot of y'all is killers and the rest of you crooks. That's why a lot of y'all is dealers and the rest of you hooked. I hope a lot of y'all can feel this and you never get booked. They got you riding and wilding and you don't never get shook. They got you bottled and hobbled and on your neck is a foot. They got you locked up in volume with so much stress in your look. But I got them. I'm dropping knowledge. I'm the chef and the cook. Now check it. The imitation that's really an infestation in the nation gave you base and then they ride on your block and you run. They give you chase and deliver you to the station. Your ignorance is amazing, nigga. Why would you ride with a gun? Manipulating your vision and then they take you to prison and try to break you when they got you to swallow your tongue. Intimidation and giving misinformation is the inclination. I'm saying the cops will demolish your son. I am the one who will ask you to dream. He been flowing to keep you from going back in the bang. We've been showing the people the bro an actual king. He been flowing. I need you to know I'm back on my scene. Let's keep it going. I need you to know we rapping with lean. He been growing. I need you to know I'm back on my ding. I read it slow, then I read it over. My acumen clean. See a hole that I need to sew, and I'm patching the scene. He was flowing. He slinging snow, and he back in the bing. He been holding the heater. Brody been clapping the name. See them Paul Belita holding a gallon of lean. Turned a whole lot of leaders into some actual fiends. And it seems Young Money wasn't stacking his green. We was young and getting money. Y'all was laughing at memes. Need to keep the young dummies from acting ratchet and mean, or just like 2020, it's a rap for the teens. You have to be clean just to master your dream. I'm trapped in a scheme, dealing with a massive machine. Had to grind to put a stack in my jeans. I used to be a sinner, now I'm the sinner. I'm talking Shaq and Kareem. I was smoking on the shack of that green with yak in my spleen. Seen it was a fact, I was the cat to redeem. Even though I stopped trapping the fiends, I got the block to running back at my team like they passing a screen. Now that's 3 minutes of all positivity. You feel me?
Right.
All positivity. Bars, I'm giving you everything you want. You feel me? So I try to the best of my ability to produce this type of music, but I'm still fighting an uphill battle. And, you know, as an artist, it's like I'm a salmon, bro. Like I'm a salmon. Although I have the ingenuity and the wherewithal and the abilities to swim against the stream, eventually it's tiresome and it's easier to flow with the stream. So flowing against the stream, it is difficult to say the least. You feel me? But it's something that I strive to do every single day. And this is why it's something that's passionate to me, because it's like, bro, I see it clear and the people should see it clear. And those rappers like me who are struggling or who are, you know, struggling to get, you know, the positive messages out there or to expose the system for what it is, you know, we need the help of those people who call themselves progressive, who call themselves conscious, who call themselves, you know, intellectual, free thinking, progressive black minds. Like, if you are that, then you need to understand this and not turn a blind eye towards it. You need to, you know, understand, because when you understand it, then you really understand the magnitude of the enemy we're dealing with, the magnitude of the detriment that the music has on our people, and the need and the necessity for us to do something about it. It cannot just continue to be oh yeah, man, these rappers, and then the 1 or 2 people who got a problem with rap music, they just want to just point at the rapper and say, we got to start from the root. We have to understand that these big corporations and these big companies, the enemy, the American government, they have a vested interest in making sure that Black people remain destabilized. And their chief weapon, one of their chief weapons, is the music. I just said, you can't find yourself in the church. You can't find yourself represented in religion. You can't find yourself, even the Orthodox Muslims want you to be Arabs. You can't find yourself represented in the educational system properly. You can't find yourself represented in politics properly. You can't find yourself represented in literature or American media properly. You can't find yourself represented anywhere. So when you do finally find yourself represented somewhere, if they control that, then they control the flood of information that's going to go into you, because you're clamoring for something you can identify with. Nobody want to turn on TV and music and always listen to white people. We want to listen to the sounds and the stars and the music and the melodies that we can identify with, that touch our soul, that come from our people. And if the only place that we find that is riddled with negativity, then the enemy, the powers that be, their job is being done for them. So a part of this leg of conscious maneuvers of this, this conscious movement, these new found, conscious groups, a part of that needs to be a coordinated effort against the music. It got to be all of us. Like the way we all talk about Trump, we all got to be talking about Future new mixtape, period. And anybody who want to ride out with this the music, we got to continue to fight them until we change the narrative, until we change. This can no longer be an issue that we sweep under the rug, act like it don't have as much of an effect that it does. It is the biggest conditioning tool and factor, period. Period. It's the icing on the cake. After they riddle you with Black inferiority in every institution in America, then they top it off with the music. It's time for us to, we got to take a stand against that, bro. Like point blank, period. We have to fight against that.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So what, before this complete reconstructive change take place as far as music, and the content, what artists do you suggest that people could listen to in replace of like the hardcore music that's influencing like the youth to do,
Well, there are various mainstream artists. I've named a few that either they make positive music or they won't make music that's too negative. Drake is one who really, really talks about his life experiences. Like people always talk about rappers talking about their life experience. You could tell Drake talking about his life, like period. I met Courtney from Hooters on Peachtree. She was the one that completely, he go deep. When you listen to him, you could tell he talking about his life. It has evolved. The more money he make, the more he talking. You could tell he ain't rapping. He ain't, I used to scrub J's with my toothbrush. He not trying to, go outside of. So, there's artists like that. Is there great positivity in those music? No, but there's a reality sense into it. It's love songs, and it won't condition you into making those bad decisions. Now, on the underground, you have some of the greatest lyricists, and they rap positive. Royce da 5'9", one of the greatest lyricists. Tech Nine, one of the greatest lyricists. Joyner Lucas, one of the greatest new lyricists upcoming out. These individuals, they rap about positive things, and like I said, salmon swimming upstream. So you'll listen to music, their music, that, and it may be a certain thing that you can misconstrue as negativity, but if you keep listening, you'll realize even that there was a method to that madness, But there's various artists like that. I would say search the underground. And the minute you hear them, start down that road of negativity and conditioning, you change the station ASAP. I, as an artist, as a DJ, as a young kid, would listen to music, listen to hip hop music, and, because I can identify with it. And I would be in a bad mood all the time and don't even realize why. I'm not even thinking why, but I'm just in a bad mood. I'm constantly pessimistic. I'm just in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm always thinking of the negative. And at a certain point, I'm like, this is damn music. And I switched it over, and it had a profound effect on my life, because music does, infiltrate you. I mean, you go to church, the choir, and you hear them singing and Jesus, you tell me that music don't touch you. You haven't been listening to a song, and a love song, and it's detailing what's going on in your life with you and your lady right now. And you just start to cry, or you feel good, or, a breakup you had, and people start talking about how, that girl ain't gonna hold me down. I'm doing fine without you. I'm gonna be better. Now you feeling good. You done got dressed. You blasting the music. You like, man, you know what? She ain't shit. That woman ain't no good. You know what? You right. All right. Return to the Mac. You tried to play the song. Yes, I did. The return to the Mac, baby. You feel as though the Mac is going to return, because those particular songs touch something in your soul. So if we create the climate and conditions for criminality and for negativity, and then we continue to force the music on the people, remember now, the killing been going on for decades. You got retaliatory killing now, retaliatory killing, retaliation. You got retribution, people coming back, niggas just coming home, niggas, I forgot, we gonna get you for what you did 10 years ago. You got all of this stuff that was produced from the music and the drug situation years ago, that we still, if you flood us with the negative music, continue, a lot of these problems will get exacerbated. They will grow, and then you look around, and we'll be worse off in the community, and we'll be, because the music is constantly forcing us to solve our problems in that particular way. They're giving us no way out. No way out. When you actually think about creativity, when you actually thinking about, being an artist, when you actually think about, growing as an artist, you are so severely, which is why a lot of artists don't last. You're so severely limited when you sit in the box. Like, the growth of an individual and artist should come from your life, real life experiences. You should be able to take infinite situations and experiences and write a song about it. I wrote a song about it. Like, here it go. What happened to that? You should be able to take infinite experiences and be able to write a song about it. We don't have that luxury. Hip hop doesn't have that luxury. You can't take the experiences and rap, and which is why I don't put Eminem on none of my lists. People always say Eminem is at the top. Eminem is a great lyricist. He is, but he was never been confined like Black rappers have been confined, especially in the time he grew up with. He was allowed concessions. He was allowed to rap about things that we were not allowed to rap about, and he got Grammys off of it. He got Oscars off of it. We weren't allowed to rap about those things. He wasn't, confined in a box that we saw. I don't put him on my list. He on his own list. All right. He nice, but I don't put him on my list, because the bottom line is we had to come up with rhymes and similes and metaphors and melodies within the confines of the paradigm that was given to us. That severely limits you. When I stopped rapping about gangster rap and all of that BS, my horizons expanded. I began to rhyme about so many different things because I was no longer in a box. So, yeah, man. Any other questions?
So let me read this. Let's see. So there was a good question if I can remember. Okay, so somebody said, they said, did you, I guess it's like an alternative. Or no, I'm sorry. It was an option. They said, would you rather be famous or would you rather want to be heard?
Would you rather be famous or be heard?
Yeah. Don't lie.
Is that a question for me personally?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, me? I always would want to be heard. The fame, I can do without. I actually enjoy the life that I have now. I enjoy spending every day with my family. I enjoy being able to catch a movie or whatever. I'm a rapper. I chase my dreams because I'm talented, but I never gave up on real life goals. So I graduated college, 3.2 GPA. I was a high school teacher. I owned my own business for 11 years now, married with children, what I'm saying, raising my family. I rap because I can do it, but I never placed that as the end all and be all of my life. And it is partly because I wasn't comfortable with coming out with that type of music. But then, also I like anonymity. If I could find a way to get the music out there and remain behind the shadows, that would be preferable for me. So I would definitely rather be heard, the message out there, than be famous. I know that fame is a double-edged sword. And, as much as you think you want it, you really don't. People think they want to be rich and famous, but they don't know how it is to wake up early in the morning and have to hit that gym for 2 hours. And then they have to do all these appearances and sit in makeup for an hour and a half and 2 hours. And, this is constant. You go out on grueling tours, where you got to rehearse 24. You have no time for a personal life. Yeah, you got women, you got money, but how much is enough? Once you done had 300, 500 women, you begin to long for other things that, you were deprived of because of your taxing schedule. So, some people say they want fame, but they really don't want what fame entails, not to be able to walk out your house without millions of cameras. And, that's the pressure was placed on Jordan. You see that in that documentary. Partially of it was his father passing, but it was the pressure, man. He walk out his damn door to cameras. It was hard. It's hard. Like, fame is not easy. You know what I'm saying? But, there's rewards to it. There's perks to it. You get money. You get to build a legacy for yourself, So it's always been, financially stable and being heard over fame for me.
So one question about rap, right? And then my question is off topic, but on what you've been talking about, on topic what you've been talking about. So the first question that's on topic is, name your 5 top albums.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I come up in a time. I'm not coming down from heaven. I'm coming up from hell. So if you see me being conscious and it's my growth and development. It's my elevation. There was a time when I love me some gangster rap now.
C Murder.
You say it again? C Murder. Damn, C Murder. No,
like Tupac.
There was a time when I loved me some gangster rap. My top albums, J. Cole, Born Sinner. That was a very, very great album.
Don't try to name all positive people. Come on, man.
No, I'm not. Drake, Nothing Was the Same. One of my favorite albums of all time. The Lox, We Are the Streets. I love that album. I know every word to it. The Lox, We Are the Streets. 50's second album, I loved. The first one had all the hits, but The Massacre was one of my favorite albums. I loved The Massacre. I knew every word to it. It was one of the joints that I placed in and I listened to all time. And then Cameron, Come Home With Me. That was one of my favorite albums too. That was one of my favorite. And I could probably think of dozens more. I really like this new Eminem album that he just came out with. I think he really, really showed his level of lyricism, lyrical ability on this last one. Eminem's second, I think it was the Slim Shady LP. No, the Marshall Mathers LP. I don't do black music. I don't do white music. I make fight music for high school kids. I put lives at risk with a knife like this. That one right there, that one I like too. I grooved off of that one. Of course, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That one is a classic. You can't really, you can't really duplicate that one at all. I was a big Will Smith fan coming up. I don't remember the album, what it was called, but I know it had Summertime on it. It had Ring My Bell. That one he came out with, and it had that extra, read all about it. Fresh Prince is back. You wonder how it happened. I wasn't rapping for a long time, but now I'm back with a strong rhyme. Go get the camera, snap a picture, sign my name on it, then I get with you. Like LL said, don't call it a comeback, just face the fact, Jack. I'm all that. I used to love that one. So, I mean, I was a Will Smith fan, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of music. My father, rest in peace, he knew the direction rap music was going in. He seen the switch, and he forced us to listen to other music. We snuck and listened to rap. And then once I got, 12, 13, and I started doing my own thing a little bit, my headphones on, I snuck and I listened to it more. But, I've always been a fan of music, white, black, anything, you know what I'm saying? But those are some of my favorite rap albums. And like I said, if I think of more, I could probably give you 10 more if I was to think long enough. But off the top.
So now this is the last question. It's getting late, you dig? But
alrighty.
But it depends how you answer this question. You might be here to 3 a.m. You dig? So
okay. Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on the jogger that was shot by those two white guys? The Michael.
Oh well, first of all, rest in peace to the brother. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. It definitely touched me a lot. I have a lot of varying opinions on it. I read social media, and one of my favorite things to do is to go to the comments. I love something about the comments. It'd be thousands of them, so I can't read forever, but I just read, and it's amazing, how all of these, dramatic events that happen in the Black community, a lot of them are split down racial lines. You got Black people saying it was wrong. You got white people trying to justify it somehow. The one guy said today, well, why would he attack? Why would he attack the guy? I'm like, bro, they cut him off with all different types of trucks. Kid hopped out with a shotgun. He was fighting for his life. When you attack, that's an offensive measure. He was defending. You feel me? But it split down racial lines, and I think it's very indicative of the very alive racial problem that we have here in America, and also indicative of the nature that exists within white people, man. For us to build your country and to actually you raped us and you actually got it off. We had the babies. You Jim Crow'd us. You aged us. You prisoned us. It worked, and you still hate us. You mistreat us to this max. You become the number one country in the world for the level that you mistreat us. But yet something inside you just hate us to that degree. So with the advent of camera phones and all of this stuff, a lot of these things are becoming more prevalent, we're able to see these things now, but they've been happening for a very long time. This ain't nothing but a modern day lynching. The fact that them cops weren't arrested immediately proves that we have the same unjust justice system, the same injustices occurring in our justice system. And it proves that nothing has changed. It proves that Black people need unity now more than ever. Whenever they could mow us down and kill us down, and the only thing they have to worry about is some Facebook posts, it empowers them to do it more, to do it again. So, unity is a key. And one thing I will say is this, Black people always want to get a little bit of money and then move out the hood, move to the white community. Bro, stop going into their communities. They don't want you there. Build your own community up. All the things that you think you're going to do by moving out, build your own community up. Buy the houses that exist there. Rebuild the houses that exist there. fight for your community. You don't have to get rich or get some money and now a badge of honor is leaving your community or moving outside your community. In every city in America, whether it be Newark, Plainfield, ever, you got beautiful, nice areas. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, you got areas that can be made beautiful and made nice if they just had a little bit of TLC, a little bit of, you know, unity. So, you know, we get so caught up in wanting to go live with them, and then, you know, things like this happen, man, you know? So, you know, it's a shame what happened to our brother. I'm glad that they locked them guys up, but I truly believe that, you know, that's just them going through the motions. I don't think they're going to do no time. This is an ex-cop. If Zimmerman could get off, I don't see what's keeping them from getting off. They chased him, but they're all going to say, you know, they're only going to say he was, you know, a suspect, and they just wanted to talk. And when he ran to grab the gun, they felt like they had to shoot. That's what they're going to say. That's what the defense is going to be. But we all see something different because, first of all, you lied about what happened. If that was happening, you should have just said that. But you lied about what was happening. And then now once the video came out, this is your new excuse, you know? So I think the guy who was taking the video should be held accountable. The guy in the front truck should be held accountable. Definitely the father and son. The prosecutors who refused to prosecute him, who recused themselves from the case, those who buried evidence, all need to be brought to justice, or either in the American justice system or in the in our justice system, let's just say. You know, I often say, you know, and I'm not an advocate for violence on any way, shape, form, or fashion. In fact, about it, I said earlier, we need unity more than we need guns, you know. But if you could do it to your own, if you could kill your own indiscriminately with no problem, then those who do come into your community violating, then we should be able to swiftly take care of them, you know, with no shame. Anybody coming to your community that is willing to, you know, kill, destroy, rape, kidnap, anything, we should be able to, you know, fight them with everything we got, you know. And that's another thing. These people, because of the climate that they have set, remember now, the first thing they do is destroy you in the court of public opinion before they actually wipe you out. So that, like, they did it with Michael Jackson. They did it with all of the various ones. They destroy your image so that when you die, it's not a big deal because we'd already destroyed your image. Well, that's what they're doing with Black people now with this music. By them destroying our credibility and our image and presenting us as thugs and killers throughout the world, when they come in to wipe us out, they will seem justified in their actions because it's this crazy group of troublemaking niggers that they couldn't do nothing about. That's why I say if you pick up guns and start waving guns around, this is only going to give them even more reason to, you know, to attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I think we got to be smart in that regard, see, because once they create that climate, then not only are we killing one another, but all of them racist dogs who want to kill a Black man tonight, all they got to do is go to the hood, drive by you. You gonna think it was such and such and them from over on 120th. You gonna think it was the blood gang from around the corner. If you create the climate of murder and death, oh, they could come and pick you off any way, shape, or form or fashion. Not just the police, but anybody. Racist white boys can ride, see Black dudes riding, smoke them. Oh yeah, such and such got killed last night. Oh, who would do such a thing? Yo, man, y'all cowards out here taking these lives. There's some whole white boys riding. He's got guns. This shit's legal. NRA boys, some whole drunk, coked up, racist white boys riding, ready to catch a body, and they done, you know what I mean? Killed some young random Black dude, and we thinking it's gangbangers. They always blame the gang. I was watching a documentary the other day, Evil Genius on Netflix, and these white group of white people that robbed this bank, and the way they did it was they put a bomb on this innocent dude neck and said, yo, gave him a note, go rob this bank, bring it here, we're gonna blow you up with the bomb. They said if the police catch you, tell them 2 Black dudes did it. Now, how many times has that story been played out? Oh, it was the Black guys. Oh, we were just watching the Innocence Project. Oh, it was these Black dudes who did it. Young boy sat in prison 15 years because somebody just said, oh, they robbed my brother for his book bag. Like, once you create this climate of criminality, this climate of, you know, black inferiority or black lives not mattering at all, then it makes it easier for every other group or every other person who has a problem with young black people who don't want to see the rise and the growth of black people. It gives them incentive and it gives them, you know, a free path to come in and murder and destroy, just like they did with our brother Ahmaud. I pray that they have swift justice. I pray that the boys go to jail forever. But one thing that I will say is, you know, they better go on witness protection if they don't. I ain't gonna do nothing. But the climate for these young boys is mad. All right. I commented, I posted that they had got arrested, and a couple of the comments was like, good, because I was on my way. so yeah, man. So there that go. That's my feelings, man. I thank you for having me on. I really do. We got to do this again. You know, I like I said, I was teaching high school. I've been studying for years. So the music is just one aspect of the knowledge that, you know, I possess. All praise due to Allah. But, you know, I still have other things that we can discuss and that we can talk about.
Yeah. Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So when, I guess we're gonna wait for more, because you know there's different things coming out about this particular case. So there's new evidence. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be patient and wait for, like, you know, most of the evidence to come out. Then we're gonna revisit this and build upon it. Because like we were talking about it yesterday, but we talked about it a little too early because more evidence is coming out. You dig? And we was all over the place. So we're gonna wait for more evidence to come about and see what's going on with everything.
Yeah.
Return on this topic. But yeah, so any other topics we're gonna definitely build on. My man wanna talk about the dude you was talking to. He wanna speak more. He wanna speak about some things.
You wanna what now?
Huh?
Said what now?
I said my man Hassan, he wanted to speak about Islam. You dig? So he wants to come back on and talk about Islam. So I was like, all right, no problem, because I'm sure we got Muslims in the chat.
I'm Muslim myself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm Muslim. I mean, I'm not on my deen like I'm supposed to, but I do believe in the Almighty. I do believe in the Creator. I don't believe in the, you know, Arabizing the religion. I believe it. You know, Islam just simply means peace, and you know, I don't believe in confining it to one particular language or one particular people. I just believe that it is our nature and the nature in which we was created, you know, straight back to the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I believe the Quran is a good law book. You know, that I have my problems with Orthodox Islam. I have my problems with a lot of things. You feel me? The school of thought that I was raised on, of course, was the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. My father was a Muslim minister, FOI, for years. You know what I'm saying? Even until he passed, he was still a Muslim minister. You know, so you know, I do. That is my base of knowledge and understanding where I came from. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in what I believe in. You know, I believe in, you know, the teachings, you know, of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I believe in, you know, that path for us. You know, so yeah, we could talk about Islam. We could talk about Orthodox Islam. We could talk about the nation. We could talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I think he's gonna mostly go into about Orthodox.
Yeah, we could talk about Orthodox Islam. That's cool. That's cool. So just let me know when you want to come on, and we'll do it. We could do it, you know, tomorrow, next day, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know in advance and try to get it, you know, going on a decent time like we did today. Probably a little earlier, if I could.
Yeah.
So we ain't gotta stay on so late.
All right, that sounds good, man.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sure. So yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Yeah, they definitely appreciate you because, you know, ain't nobody, they all say it and listen.
I definitely appreciate them. I would like to look back on it though. You want to post it?
Yeah, well, I normally do that. I normally, you know, because you had. Well, what I do is it's an archive. So as a channel grow, I replay it, and you know, of course, it draws more attention, it gets more views. So I did that with something else I played. I had a panel discussion on something, like when I first started doing this. I had about like 10 people listening, But when I replayed it, we had about 85 people listening to it. You dig? So people.
Oh wow. Okay.
So as an archive, what I do is I re-air it, and then the new people can look at it and appreciate it. Because right now, if I play it again, the same people are gonna feel like I already seen that. You know?
No, I get it. Well, just tag me in it so I can watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or tag me in it or send me it or whatever the case.
Yeah, so
I can see back in it.
we're gonna also invite you in some panel discussion we be having. It'd be random topics, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's no topic at all. We just be building, and then we mention different things, and whatever catches, that just catch. We just build on that, and that's it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down for all of the discussions. We're gonna have to get on a little earlier though.
Definitely. Well, look, I go live different times of the day, but we're gonna definitely do that.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate for having you. Peace and blessings to the Black family. Thank you for everybody for listening, all of the callers who engaged. I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the build. And I look very much forward to talking with you guys again.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace, Black.